was Smooth post. That was Smooth. That's what Smooth was doing purposely. That's all I was saying. And I know that Smooth. Am I lying? Is that what you was going for?
No, but he's saying that all the other games were
No, he
were
didn't say
trash
that.
and everything. Yes, he did.
No, he
He was
didn't
saying
say
that
it
all
was
the Final
trash.
Fantasy. He was saying all the Final Fantasy games were hit and miss when he doesn't beat not a single one of them. So how would he know?
Hold on, the ones he named that was good.
No,
Hold on. Hold on.
go read that. But it's
Let
all
me get
good.
out.
We could talk about it on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I'm gonna get out of that one.
Oh man, hold on. Can we be heard? Can we be heard? Planet Xbox episode 103. It's
he
May
was running.
4th. My birthday is on Friday. Don't know what I'm doing, but
Go watch Doctor Strange, man.
Nah,
Day one.
I'm not even that big of a fan to try to go. I'm not going to the theaters. If it's not on streaming, I'm not watching it.
That's tough, man.
Go to the mystery. Y'all should do a mystery dinner, man. This time instead of the escape room.
Mystery dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave me the escape room idea last time. That shit worked out.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm definitely going to get Brandosaurus rib, which is like $45, and it's like a big piece of the cow.
It might be 50 now with these food prices, low key.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna give myself to that. But man, we got a lot on the agenda today, sort of. But we can start with the intros. We're gonna start with we got NickBanks while he's awake, so we're gonna start off with NickBanks.
Yeah, get me while I'm awake, man.
What you been up to? What you playing? How you doing? What you got going on?
Oh, there you go. He's out here leaving the Discord. There you go. What you doing, man? You don't know how to operate it?
Yo, look, man. I've been playing Apex, carrying Dope Boy. You know what I do.
Never a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I seen that. I seen you carrying him on that scoreboard.
Yeah, whole backpack and everything. But nah, I've been playing. It's a game on Game Pass. I've been playing. That's pretty good.
What's that?
Unsold. I mean, a lot of people don't like the 32-bit games and stuff like that, but that was pretty good. Y'all should check that out, man. I don't know if y'all into that the indie like. It got it's like a dungeon crawler, but it got a lot of RPG elements, and it's kind of like I would say not Souls game, but I don't want to keep using that as an example, but y'all know what I mean. It's a little difficult. It got like RPG elements. It's pretty good. A little versatile and a little bit of the gameplay, but check that out. But that's so far what I've been playing. That and Apex.
Okay. All right. What about you, Dope Boy?
Oh yeah, so the true story is that I've been breaking kill records. Well, my personal kill records in Apex, so that's the thing I've been doing. Other than that, just been working, going to school, and yeah, living my life, man. Sliding in DMs, bro.
Sliding in DMs.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I will never incriminate myself that way. But yeah,
hell no.
We're not trying to get canceled, man. We're not trying to get canceled.
Okay.
But yeah, just enjoying myself, honestly. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake.
You guys will see some great Apex gameplay in a little bit after Smooth is done with his Halo gameplay. So you guys will see the real FPS master.
This is
oh man, you gotta start recording some of your gameplays on COD, bro. Whatever game you're playing, because I know you're really good at shooters as well, unlike everybody else on this podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, throw that shade in there. No.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We're the two people that be carrying everybody in this podcast.
Apex gameplay coming up, man.
Hey, if we ever had like a versus, like let's say like a Planet Xbox versus a different podcast, I guarantee we will win mainly because of me and Ole Man Logan.
Yo, stop playing, yo. I'm a good one.
It depends. I mean, if you're talking about like Apex and Call of Duty, yeah, I can say that.
No, I mean anything like Halo,
all the screaming you be doing
man.
in Halo and shit, I doubt it.
Nah, like, Halo. Yo, remember we were doing the free for all shit with like Salty in them, and yeah, I was like top 2 every time.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, what about you, Logan?
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry I got in here a little bit late. I didn't realize what time it was, and it was Star Wars days. I was caught up watching some Star Wars. May the 4th be with you guys. Hey. But what have I been playing? Oh, so NickBanks.
Oh yeah, you beat Scarlet Nexus, man. Yeah, shout out to
This
you.
been the man that said I would never beat Scarlet Nexus. The man.
I have to beat that game though.
I had to put that man in his place. I said, you know what? I'm gonna fucking
Good
beat
shit
the
though.
game.
How you like it though?
No, so like I really liked Scarlet Nexus. I liked it, but dude, the very last what is it? Phase 12.
Oh yeah, that was
Dude, it kind of drugged on it kind of overstayed its welcome just a little bit. Because like not the last boss fight, but leading up to
leading up to it, it was a drag.
Like dragged. I was like, dude, just let me because at some point you're trying to beam through to get to the boss,
and it's hard to catch that motherfucker too.
And it was just that was my only gripe was that very last phase at the very end, kind of drug on a little bit. But overall, I really enjoyed the game. I do kind of plan. It depends on whatever I start playing, but I did start the other playthrough with the other character. So I'm blanking. Why am I blanking on the name? I did Kasani. I did that one, and then the guy. What was it? Yuito or
Yuito? Yep, Yuito was his name.
That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the right name. So I was like, I did start, the second playthrough in that. And then I actually finished last night. I finished Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, which if you guys have never played Mafia, and really any of the Mafia games for that matter, I would say definitely play them because they're just all phenomenal games and they're very, very underrated. But Mafia 2 is one that it was a pretty damn good game. And but yeah, that's the only two that I beat within the last week. And then I've been playing that Vampire Masquerade Battle Royale, whatever game a little bit. It's all right. Mm-hmm. It's not bad. It's not the best BR game, but it's definitely not the it's not the worst. It's
I tried it too. It was pretty cool, man. It's kind of
some of the movements when you're fighting and stuff just seems it's hard to get down because of how the movement set up on it. I haven't gotten to boot up. Haven't boot up Halo Season 2 yet, so I haven't got into that. I'll probably get into that this weekend.
Okay.
Yep.
Chris, man, what you been playing? Chris?
Yeah. What's up, man? So I'm at I think I need 2 trophies left. I think so. For Elden Ring, I'm playing Animutational, which is a China Hero Project game. It's a dope little 2D and 3D cyberpunk action RPG. And I'm still going through triangle strategy and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. And I'm about to start Devil May Cry 5 soon.
Really? You haven't played Devil May Cry 5 yet?
I have, but not the definitive edition.
Oh, the special edition?
Yeah, the special edition. I want to play through it.
I haven't even bought that one yet. I played and beat the original Devil May Cry 5. I had it that was the first Devil May Cry game I beat.
You never beat
I played Devil May Cry 3. What was the one that came out for the 360?
It was 4.
That was 4.
All right. So I don't think I beat that game, but I know I played a lot of it. I played. I'm almost certain I have a decent amount of time in it, but I don't recall ever beating it. I remember buying it day one because it was it was. I guess it came out during a dry time period.
So special. No, so 4. When did 4 come out? 2008. Well, on 360 it was in 2008. Then special edition came out during the dry spell on Xbox One. I remember that, and because I beaten the game multiple times on 360. So I was like, let me see how it is on Xbox One. It was pretty good. I like the additions. You could play as Virgil in that game because he was an original cast member. You could play as Lady and all the other characters in that game. Yeah. They added some other additional content to it, but it was cool. Some people tell me they don't like 4. I like 4 a lot, dude.
Nah, 4 is really good. I still think 3 and 1 are the best. 2 was just pure garbage. But no, I have 5 on the PC. But obviously, you know, I lost my PC and everything like that, right? The fire and shit like that. But so it was on sale. It was a couple weeks ago on PSN for like $20. The definitive or the special edition, the one with, you know, the 120 frames and ray tracing.
Yeah, I have to
and
get to playing it on Xbox Series X. Dude,
yeah, I haven't even seen it. Like, cause I played it on Xbox One X. The Devil May Cry 5. Thought it was an amazing game. I'm trying to think. Do I even do it? That was what year did that come out? 2018, 2019, 2019.
I think it was 2018. Wasn't it?
20. Because I know it came out in the year, and I don't even think I did like my top.
Oh no, I think it was 29. Yeah, I think it might have been the same year Sekiro and Resident Evil 2 came out.
Yeah. All right, and I was supposed to do a top 10 list, and I didn't do it that year that it came out. But Devil May Cry 5 would have been on it. But I enjoyed that game. Like the thing I was kind of tight is that having to rebuy special edition. So that's why I didn't buy it, obviously, because of I don't support fuckery like that. So if they decide to put special edition in Game Pass or it goes on sale, I mean, I'd be more than happy to, you know, play it again because I want to see, you know, I want to play the game, you know, above 60 frames per second. I know like it runs at an unlocked frame rate on all modes. I think you can hit up to 120.
But you got that VR. VR, right?
I don't know if I'm not sure how VRR functions in that game because I know that was an early game. Yeah. But I would take it for the high frame rate itself. But yeah, no, that's a good game. So if you're gonna be checking that you got, I'm assuming you got it for PS5, right? The special edition one, or
no, I got it for the Series X.
Come on, bro. All right.
Of course, I got it for the PS.
Okay. All right. As far as games, I haven't I'm trying to think. I posted my games beaten so far. I've tried multiple games. Like I dibbled and dabbled Life is Strange, but I haven't been feeling it enough to like lock in and just play it. So right now it's kind of in that pending section. I bought some other games on Xbox just to try them out, but these were like, no, I shouldn't have bought them. But I had some Xbox reward points and I kind of wasted them on some of the games that I bought. I am currently playing Halo Infinite Season 2 multiplayer. Been doing Last Man Standing. I told you guys last week or 2 weeks ago, I tried Ghost of Tsushima. I thought that was going to be the game I was playing, but I think it's absolutely garbage.
It's not a garbage game.
No, I'm sorry. Not Ghost of Tsushima. Not Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghostwire Tokyo. I was about to say.
It's Ghostwire Tokyo.
Don't ever disrespect that game.
My bad. Ghostwire Tokyo, I think, is absolute garbage. I'm trying. Like I don't know. Maybe down the line when I can say, you know.
Hey, hold on. Remember this, right? Remember this, old man. Remember when it comes. I already know what's gonna happen. Godfall was garbage on the PS5, but as soon as it came.
No, but I don't have Ghostwire Tokyo on the PlayStation 5. I have it on PC.
Yeah, but when it comes to Xbox,
but when it goes, I mean, it's the same game. It's not going to change. I can't help the game. Is
so was Godfall. Godfall was the same.
Godfall was broken on my PlayStation 5. Literally, I couldn't get past the boss fight.
You're going to be like achievements on Xbox. And
no. I don't mind getting the achievements on the Steam achievements. Like I don't. Like if the game, so this is what I planned to do, right? I planned to play it on PC. You know, like all right, cool. This is
try out the ray tracing, benchmark it.
No, the goal was to beat the game because I wanted a game that I could actually sit through, play through, and enjoy on PC. And I thought Ghostwire Tokyo being that's brand new and whatnot, I figured I'd do that. And then when it came to Game Pass like next year, I was like, all right, you know, I'll run through this shit again. But I'm not liking it enough to even get through an original playthrough. So. I don't know. Maybe when we, if like right now, I've been kind of like really bored with gaming. Like I feel like I have absolutely nothing to play, and Ghostwire Tokyo isn't good enough to fill that void.
You have a banger coming to Game Pass pretty soon.
The Ghost of Tsushima Xbox version,
that.
Right?
Yeah.
No, Yomi?
Yeah.
That shit don't look anything like Ghost of Tsushima.
Bro, it looks exactly like Ghost of Tsushima. If Ghost of Tsushima was 2.5D, it would be that game.
What?
Crazy, bro.
Bro, I'm
It
sorry.
might just because it has samurai swords don't mean
Yeah,
it's
and
just
the black and
exactly
white,
what-
and then the combat. It just looks.
Bro, Ghost of
I'm
Tsushima
sorry,
is
I know-
barely
yo,
in black and white, bro.
I mean, yo,
You
I'm,
know
s-
you.
I don't mean to,
How are
I
we
don't, bro. I
saying-
don't mean to do this to y'all, but the game.
How are we saying that a 2D platformer is just the same as an open world game?
That's
Huh?
what I'm saying.
Bro,
you can't
I
say
don't
that.
know,
You
man.
can't
Every
just
time I see that game,
generalize
I'm
it
like,
being-
bro, I have Ghost of Tsushima on
Oh,
Xbox.
man.
That's
No,
exactly
it's
how I
not
feel.
the same.
I'm not letting that get.
What in the
Y'all
hell?
can do it.
Well, yo, Nick,
I
I'm,
can't.
all right, you know,
All right,
see,
all right.
I can't get
I don't
on
know.
that.
It's like, so I know I'm not the only soul on this planet that feels like, yo, this
You
is
really
like an
are.
equivalent, bro.
You really are, man.
It ain't an equivalent.
It's not.
No,
it's
I
not,
get
it's not an
PlayStation
equivalent
getting
at
No,
into.
all.
hold on. I understand that if he's saying it's just a samurai game and that's it. Yeah, I understand that.
That's
but
what
it
I'm
ain't
saying,
no
but it's not. Yeah,
Right.
they're very different
Nah,
games.
bro.
Yeah, just because it's got swords and shit don't mean it's the same
Who's
fucking
fucking with
game.
us, bro?
Yeah, I
He
feel like
fucking-
it
he
takes
messing
place in
with
the
us.
same exact time frame and everything.
What?
It's like,
Oh yeah,
yo,
because it takes place the same time as samurais are around. What do you mean?
I mean, bro, it just I
You
don't
are
know,
killing
man.
me
It's
right
like,
now.
This game looks promising, and it has
That's
like a it has a name I can
You know what's
pronounce.
crazy?
Every
Yeah.
game it takes place in 1940.
Ghost of
like,
Tsushima, like if
Oh,
Ghost of Tsushima came out this year, it'll most likely be Game of the Year, low key. Like 2020 was fucking packed, bro. Really packed.
Really?
That game was great. Yeah. You remember 2020, man? 2020 was a packed year for gaming.
What,
There was a
you know what's
lot.
crazy? None of those fucking games. No, Last of Us was my game.
Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, never mind. 2020 was
That
console launch
game.
year. Yeah, but Last
Yeah,
of Us, my
FF7 remake.
Yeah,
like, come on,
that
bro.
trash. My favorite.
what do you mean trash? Come
Stop
on.
it. Stop.
Yo,
Stop
There's
it.
a you gotta be sensible.
Yo, I'm gonna say this,
All right,
yo.
all right.
2020.
High Busters.
High Busters was cool, but
High Busters
that
was
was top.
2019.
No, it was
2019,
2020.
okay.
It was December 2020.
Persona 5
my favorite
Persona 5
Oh
game-
yeah, it was. You're
My
right.
favorite game from 2020 was Immortals: Phoenix Rising, right? But my game of the year was
that was a sleeper. That was a sleeper.
The Last of Us Part 2. But Immortals came out too late because I didn't beat it until January of 2022. That's why I didn't make my list. But that game was dope.
That Breath of the Wild.
Clone.
That was man, bro. Breath of the Wild wish you could do shit like that. See, this is the thing, bro. This is what I don't understand. Like, Breath of the
Then why is
Wild-
nobody finding new shit 5 years later?
I don't understand because Nintendo easily amuse you guys. They can push you in an empty ass open world, no sort of fucking dialogue, and do simple shit like sweat and break sticks. And
What game is that?
That's Breath
Breath
of
of
the
the Wild
Wild.
is not an open. No, it's not an open. It's not an empty open world with no dialogue. What game you talking about?
Breath of the Wild. I played that game and I found myself. They don't talk in that game.
That game has dialogue.
Yes, they do. They got voice acting. What are you talking about?
They talk.
The very first thing you hear is Link get up. Like that's the very first thing you hear. Like right away.
Got dialogue. This man. Smooth, I'm gonna need to see how many hours.
No,
you got
I got a lot of hours of Breath of the
That's
Wild.
cap.
Bro. I know
That's cap. That's
Anyway,
cap.
Don't go check it. Don't go check it. I think my
Last-
security numbers
last-
on there.
Last year, GameSpot put about 12 videos. This year, they've already put about 5 videos about brand new shit people are discovering in Breath of the Wild. No other open world game is doing that,
Bro.
but it's so empty though.
It ain't no dialogue in no damn Breath of the Wild. What are you talking about, bro?
Yo, there are full-on cutscenes.
Bet me $100, Nick.
Talking.
Yo, this is crazy. Link got a voice? Post
No,
it.
Link
Just
doesn't
because the
talk.
main
No.
character doesn't
Bro,
fucking
what you
talk
talking
doesn't
about?
mean there's no dialogue in the
Yo,
game, bro.
Zelda has voice
Don't do
acting.
that, though,
Groot
boy.
has voice
Don't do that,
acting.
yo.
Fucking,
Y'all
do
know
what?
what you're talking about.
it's about fucking they were in the
There you go.
war, and
That's
100
funny.
years later he's been sleeping, and everybody's fucking dead and shit.
Yo,
I don't wanna-
Doom guy
Go ahead.
doesn't talk, but people look like, oh my
So
god,
what?
that
And
game
Bro,
it's
doesn't have
basically any
dialogue.
Call of Duty games like that.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
man,
The main
it's
character doesn't talk.
because they want everything they want everything spoon fed to them. When it's not something like a movie, they say it's no story.
Yo, hit the like, man. We having some great discussions here, bro.
Like I don't understand. Like I don't get it.
Off right now.
Like,
When
y'all
they say
go-
it's not like a
y'all always
movie,
run the
there's no story.
Xbox and all this stuff when somebody call something out on a Nintendo platform or Sony platform. Y'all gotta stop this, bro.
What are you you do it all the time too? What are you talking about?
I do.
All right. So let's get to a couple of things. So Game Pass this month is Trek Yomi. Damn, I can't even speak now. A Trek Yomi.
They don't even know the damn
Trek of
name of the
Yomi. Trek to
game.
Yomi, right? Trek to Yomi.
Yeah,
right?
Trek to Yomi.
Trek to Yomi, which is tomorrow. There's I think NHL 22.
22. You got Citizen Sleeper.
Okay.
Loot River. Danganronpa. I don't know how to say that.
It's
shit.
it's like
crazy.
I think it's a sequel, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a,
Oh,
it's a
that's
second game, I think.
Danganronpa. It's
Danganronpa, yeah.
it's a visual novel. It's a visual novel type of game.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, wait,
The War
I'm not
War of
into
Mine Final
that.
Cut.
This War of Mine, I saw that, and I knew they have it's the X and X version that's coming. But I'm like, what can they possibly enhance in that type of game?
I don't know, man. I never played it though.
Yuden Chronicle. Am I saying that right? Rising.
Yeah, EU Chronicle Rising, which is a spin-off of the main game that hasn't been released yet, but they're doing some action RPG side-scrolling game spin-off based on it. This isn't the one that I'm looking for. If you look at the actual Yuden Chronicles, I think they showed it one year at one of the Xbox showcases.
Yeah. It comes out next year. Right?
Yeah, it comes out. Because it was Kickstarter and everything like that. It's made from the creators of sequel. And that shit looks fucking amazing. I can't wait for that shit to come out. But this one is like a little spin-off version of that one, but it's more like a side-scrolling action game and stuff like that.
Oh, it's not turn-based? I thought this one was the turn-based RPG.
No, it's not. No. The main game that's coming out next year, that is turn-based.
All right, then I'll play this one. I ain't got time for that turn-based shit. So I'll play this one if that's the case.
There you go, Xbox fans. That's why they don't come.
Speaking of games that don't come to Xbox, these dudes, Fury. I said Yuri. Fury. They're making a PlayStation 5 port, and they opted not to make an Xbox Series port, which their reasoning was the Xbox One version wasn't supported. That's because everybody was on PlayStation's dick last year. So, I mean, there's that. No,
you sound salty. So, hey, I don't think there's no reason for them to lie. They just say, "Yo, people on the Xbox didn't support it as much, so we're small dev and we opted not to bring it." That's what they said. I don't know. That's what they said. But go ahead.
This is the first time I heard of this game. In 20.
You never heard of Fury?
No, that's the thing. I never heard of it until this came out. Like people complaining about they're not. I was like, "What the hell is this game?"
That game was talked about when it first because that's that boss rush game with like the little rabbit and shit like that, right? That's the one, right? Yeah, that's I remember people talking about that shit when that first game. I
didn't hear about it until 6 years later after it released. So,
you should try it out then. It's a pretty cool game.
Yeah, I don't like these fucking 2D
when the PS5
version. But go ahead.
Maybe when the PS5 version comes out, I'll get it.
I don't know what they're going to actually enhance. The shit looks like it's not like a graphical. Like I don't know what the game, like how much better the game's going to look at in 4K or with faster, or like what it's going to do with faster.
Probably like 120 frames or some shit like that mode or something.
Smooth. You advocated for iDarb when it was the Xbox One X enhancement, bro.
It wasn't. iDarb was never Xbox One X enhanced.
It wasn't.
No, that iDarb came out in like 2014, dude.
Yeah. And they got enhanced, bro.
No, it didn't get enhanced. The reason why I capped for iDark is back then when I came out, that's when my early days of YouTube when I was doing development interviews, and I interviewed the devs, got early access to the game. I made a bunch of SpongeBob characters in the game, which looked kind of on point.
Okay.
And yeah, it was cool. Shout out to Micah and Ocean. Was it Ocean Interactive, or I think it's Ocean. Damn. I think it's Ocean Interactive, but Micah made that game. He's a cool dude. He also made that game Project Winter.
Nice.
Which came out I think last year. But yeah, shout out to them. I gotta get them back on the podcast. Early days. That was my early YouTube days when I used to have like developer interviews like every other week. But yeah, iDarb. Yeah, no, I'm just saying like, and iDarb was like running like, believe it or not, like 4K 60 on the Xbox One. This is before Xbox One X was a thing.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I knew it was something.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was before. Like, it's like pre Xbox One X. It's like well before Xbox One X. No, like you're so Fury, yeah, they're doing a next gen version, so it kind of upset a lot of people that they're opting. You know who else did some shit like that? And they literally lost a purchase out of me because I would have bought the game because I felt like it would be a game like Werewolf, Terminator Resistance.
That's trash.
They did a PS5 version and did not make an Xbox a Series X or S version. I'm like, all right, you guys can like kind of take that trash out somewhere else. At this point, if you want a game, if you're gonna do these stupid ass ports and you're gonna favor one platform, just make a mobile game so everybody can have it. Then.
Or why don't they just talk to Microsoft to get it bad for Game Pass?
Because
right.
Yeah, right. I don't know. They get like
if the game already exists, then it makes no sense for them to even have that kind of mentality in the first place. Like, oh, we're not going to make a next gen version of the game. Like, what the fuck is that, bro? Yeah. Come on.
Hey, but they say because y'all ain't supported. That's what they say. I don't know.
Yeah, but say that to my Xbox purchase of the game where I got all the achievements.
Yeah, where do I?
I'm not saying y'all don't. I'm just saying that
actually. Let me check Steam. I know I have that game. I know I have Fury. I just don't know what platform I have.
I think the whole Game Pass deal is based on projection numbers, like just in the music business. Like, if you got a million views, then I'm not giving you a budget that's like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. That's the thing. Like some of these games come into some of these games are coming to Game Pass day and date, which we'll get into the Ubisoft shit in a bit. Some of them either are not projecting to sell a lot, or they just simply don't have. They can't market the game on their own, so they can market it through Game Pass, which is it's not a bad idea to market the game through Game Pass.
What games are you referring to? Just so I know.
Oh, we're looking like Outriders,
smaller titles.
Outriders.
I feel like Outriders,
Back for Blood. Like those games weren't going to. They don't have legs on their own, nor were they going to sell in the millions. When you really think about it, like those games weren't. Like they had betas out, right? And the betas weren't the best, right? And people are like, all right, I might skip on this game, wait for it to go on sale. And these publishers are able to see, hey, this is what the pre-order numbers are looking like. We will get more engagement from putting this game inside Game Pass than trying to sell it on its own and have it die.
That's like Guardians of the Galaxy. People think they actually paid that much money for that. I don't think so, bro. Like I don't believe
how much do they say they paid for that game?
Well, it was rumored. It's not actually a fact. It was like a dude came out that knows somebody uncle or some shit
like
that.
Like an analyst
or
something.
He was like, yeah, they paid $10 million. I'm like, hell no, that game wasn't even
projected. Oh no. Yeah, they didn't pay $10 million to throw that game in Game Pass.
People are run with stupid numbers, not even understanding. Like, yo, they
spent
$10 million. That's like
for $10 million, they probably could have bought Crystal Dynamics.
That's what I'm saying. Like, throwing these crazy numbers out there, like, no, bro, they probably ain't even paid nothing to get most of these games in Game Pass. They probably needed it. Like,
Well, they had to have paid something because there had to be some money.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was some money.
But the projected.
But to be fair, this is how you had to look at it, right? It was a given that game would have came to Game Pass fairly soon, just based on what happened with Avengers. That's why I always look at Bandai Namco. I'm looking at Elden Ring. There's some games that you can probably tell just based off previous history with that publisher and recent releases of the possibilities. So I knew Guardians of the Galaxy was coming to Game Pass. I just didn't want to wait for it. I was like, this game is like good enough to like I'm gonna rock this out. So, and I was happy I did it. But I'm still surprised a lot of people didn't play that game because it was definitely one of the best games that came out last year.
Very much so.
So what else that we have? I mean, there's a couple things, right? We could talk about the new. Was this like Monday morning or Sunday night? What happened with the Embracer Group?
I think that was
Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Monday morning. Yeah, that's Sunday night, Monday morning. Yeah, it was like. Because I was still up at the time. It was like 2 in the morning. It was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
But that's because Square Enix is in Japan, right? So that's when they announced. The time difference is when they, it was like afternoon in Japan at that time.
Yeah, it was like 12 hours apart from where they're at to us, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So Embracer Group and Square Enix announced, and you guys I've been saying this for the damn for a while now, but I was just hoping it was.
Yeah, me too, Smooth. Remember, you remember me saying? I've been saying have Square Enix sell off their Western studios. I don't even care. Remember I said that?
I hear you in my ear vividly when you said that shit. So, so Embracer Group have come to an agreement to buy the entire Western division of Square Enix, which was for I think a total of like $300 million, which is like million. Fucking a little bit more than Insomniac, which is dirt fucking cheap. So now Embracer Group, aka THQ Nordic, right? That's them, right? Has pretty much ownership of Tomb Raider, Deus Ex. Damn, what else do they make? Or do I just care about Tomb Raider?
Oh, Hitman. Hitman.
No. Not Hitman. That's IO.
Hitman. They don't own Hitman no more. But okay. they some of the notable titles that they gave up was Tomb Raider, Deus Ex. Legacy of Kain. What else? Shit, I don't even remember. Which is kind of weird at the same time because it's like you gave up Tomb Raider and Legacy of Kain and Deus Ex, but you kept Outriders. Right?
Well, Outriders doesn't own that. That's
a different studio,
not their game. They just have publishing rights because that's not their game.
But that's what one of the games said that they were keeping or whatever. But either way,
They say y'all can have that shit.
That's people can fly game and Square Enix just publish it. I don't think Square Enix owns that IP.
I think they might own that IP as well too. I don't know because they said I forgot who. I don't know if it was the Benji Cells guy or the Nibble guy, one of them, or the Warrior 64. It was one of them. They was like, games that they gave up was Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain, and blah blah blah, and said but they kept. They said they kept Just Cause, Outriders, and Life is Strange.
Oh well, Life is Strange definitely got okay. I can see that because they can give Life is Strange to anybody. And Just Cause, that's because they're about to. They're made by Avalanche, where Square Enix doesn't own Avalanche. They don't. Yeah, and Avalanche is about to sell to Microsoft. So.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, that makes sense. They could give those IPs. Okay, all right. But so the thing is, right? Mm-hmm. Now I've been wanting to wake up to news like that for a long time, right? But I was hoping Xbox would be the one to do it because it just makes sense. It was like, come on, like it just made freaking sense. And then Crystal Dynamics partnered up with the Xbox and the initiative to help make Perfect Dark. I was like, all right, they're getting them ready. And Square Enix took the fucking cheapest, quickest deal they could find, and it hurt me. At the same time,
it wasn't the cheapest deal because if you look at the reasoning behind why they sold it, is because both of those studios don't net any profit for them whatsoever. So in terms of from Square Enix standpoint, they can't even highball anybody if they really wanted to because those two studios, the upkeep of those studios. So you have to look at the amount of employees they have. Crystal Dynamics has 272 employees, right? Eidos Montreal has 481. They have their own internal engine to run. They have mocap, and they're based in 3 different locations, both studios. So the maintenance and upkeep of those studios, plus the fact that they're not netting any type of profit, you can't highball it because the performance of those companies are public.
Yeah, sure.
So you can't even like say, hey, these companies are valuable. They know, everyone in the fucking game industry knows, hey, they're not netting any profit. The games that these two companies are selling have essentially failed. Now, we might like those games. We might say, hey, like, Guardians of the Galaxy was a great game. We enjoyed it, but it didn't sell a lot whatsoever.
Yeah, it lost. I mean, between Guardians and Avengers, I think Square Enix, they said that they lost like $200
million. Those two games alone.
But not only that, also with the 300, Embracer also inherited whatever debt that those companies had as well too. So
yeah.
That was another reason.
And this deal is expected to close in September, fairly quick. But
fairly quick.
Yeah, because it's a small scale deal. Like you're acquiring only 2 studios from a publisher, which isn't that bad.
And then a few IP. So how I feel about it, I've been saying this for the longest time because Square Enix, that's besides like Sony and like Nintendo, that's like one of my favorite video game companies, right? Because I grew up with all the Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So they've had their ups and downs, obviously, through the years. I've lived through the worst and I've lived through the best. Right now, they're kind of mixed. They have really good solid games that come out, but then recently they've had, flops and things like that. I've always said, right, and which is funny because last week the Square Enix CEO kind of alluded to this, where he said that, he believes that, when Japanese developers try to go more for Western style games, that it doesn't pan out well. They just and that we know that people love, Square Enix game for like the Japanese side of things, like the Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So the way they're managing these Western studios and stuff like that, because they're not bad. Like Crystal Dynamics made some pretty good Tomb Raider games, in my opinion. I didn't really like the third one that much, but the first two were pretty good. And then, of course, Eidos Montreal, Deus Ex Humankind, and Revolution and stuff like that were really good games, right? But they've always mismanaged them. Like when Tomb Raider's coming out selling 7 to 8 million copies, and they're saying that that's a failure. You know what I mean? And then they're greenlighting projects like Avengers to Crystal Dynamics, which never made a live service game in their life. There have always been single-player games. The same thing with Babylon's Falls. Platinum Games never made an online multiplayer game in their life. And Platinum Games wanted to do that game, but Square Enix still greenlit it. So Square should have had the foresight and be like, y'all don't know how to make these type of games, so just make it single-player, whatever. So they've been making some dumb decisions and everything like that. So hopefully with them offloading these studios, they can refocus back on what makes Square Enix great, what a lot of the fans love about Square Enix, which is their Japanese side of things.
PlayStation exclusives.
Or Nintendo exclusives, or like, Dragon Quest, Elysium, and all those future games, Square Enix games that are also coming to Xbox, right? But but to me, like so people are speculating, and I think Jeff Grubb was like speculating and stuff like that. That one of the reasons they're doing that is because they're prepping themselves to be ready to get bought out. And of course, the number one contender that everybody brings up is Sony. Me personally, I would love Sony to acquire Square Enix, only because my biggest issue with Sony right now is their lack of first-party Japanese studios and lack of first-party JRPGs or whatever. So them acquiring Square Enix as a publisher, especially just to the Japanese side, that will completely alleviate that, right? That will completely alleviate that. But I will only want... See, there's two things, right? I will only want that if Jim Ryan and Herman Holtz biscuit head European asses, right? if they still greenlight the smaller projects from Square Enix that they've been putting out recently that have all been good, right? If they still greenlight games like Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy, Bravely Default, Nier Replicant, the Live a Live remake that's coming exclusive to Nintendo Switch and stuff like that. If they continue to let Square Enix operate that way alongside the AAA games, right, the big games that obviously is going to sell crazy, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and stuff like that, then sure, go ahead. But if they're not going to greenlight those projects and they just want, like Sony wants all their studios to just be AAA studios and stuff like that, then I feel that Square Enix should remain independent. And, they could still, they could do exclusive deals with PlayStation, exclusive deal with Nintendo. Microsoft can very much come in and get some type of exclusive deal from one of the IPs or anything like that. Because another thing is now all these new age PlayStation fans, right, which I've been battling for the past couple weeks, they no longer care about JRPGs like that anymore, or at least like the smaller ones like that anymore, like back in the PS1 and PS2 days and shit like that, right? And the Switch is now 80% of Japan. Like the Switch just dominate 80% of the Japan, which is why they're getting exclusive from Square Enix, like an Octopath and like a Triangle Strategy, because those games are going to sell the most in Japan on the Switch. So if they come out with that just on the PlayStation, then that's already going to limit the potential sales of those games, because all of these new age PlayStation fans, all they want is motherfucking AAA games and shit like that. And they'll buy Final Fantasy, they'll buy Kingdom Hearts, they'll buy Dragon Quest, but would they buy Bravely Default? Would they buy, and things of that nature? So that's the kind of thing that it's like kind of a dilemma to see how it happens. It may be a situation to where it's Square Enix is under Sony, but they're still their own operations. You know what I mean? Like they're still their own thing. They still do their own thing. They're not necessarily like under Herman Host or some shit like that. Or they might not just sell at all. They might, because the Japanese publishers, they're not gonna sell to foreign companies. That's just not gonna happen. Like people think that oh, it can happen and shit like that. No, they're just not gonna happen. If Microsoft wants a foothold, they just have to create their own Japanese studios from there, which they already have one right now with Tango Gameworks, right? So yeah, but at the same time, these IPs now going to Embracer groups. Now we can get, because some of these IPs were dormant. Now we can get a Legacy of Kain, which they already expressed interest, which a lot of people have been waiting for. New Legacy of Kain back. Square Enix wasn't doing a goddamn thing with it, but now that they give it to Embracer, Embracer can revive that. The same thing with Deus Ex. We want a new Deus Ex. Now that Embracer Groups has them, and obviously Embracer's Group is a third party and whatnot. So most of the games are going to be like multi-plat, but they also work with companies. Like I know them and Sony have a pretty good relationship because I think Sony invested in them. I think Sony gave them money and invested in them or something like that. But I know Sony has that timed exclusive with them, which is nice for the Old Republic because it's made by Aspire, which guess who owns them? Embracer Group. But Embracer Group had a lot of fucking company, and I love their philosophies. They want AAA games, but they also want a lot of AA games and stuff like that. They're real about like the physical media.
They're the king of like $30, $40 games, bro. No.
Right, yeah, but they just have a shit ton. They just have a shit ton of companies and stuff like that. So I see it as a win-win. I know a lot of people got on this whole they sold them all because they want to work on NFTs and blockchains and everything like that, which that's not worrisome to me because NFTs and blockchains, they're just going away, right? We already see them decline.
Oh, NFTs are not like, they're not useful. Blockchains are a completely different story if you understand the use case of blockchains. But I think the biggest thing to take away from this is like, hey, they want to get away from less risky business models, right? They want to get away from things that are not going to yield them profits, and they want to maximize on the things that they can do well. Mobile games. Obviously, the Japanese division is doing really, really well. So that's the main thing they want to focus on. I think it's a mutual thing as well. Like some of these companies, like you've seen Square Enix do this time and time again, and we covered this in past podcasts. The fact that they keep throwing these studios under the bus, like it's either you're having these unrealistic expectations, but another thing that's not helping these games is the fact that hey, you're just throwing these games into the service as well, which it helps engagement, but it's not helping the performance of the sales of these games. That's the thing. So you can't on one hand say, oh, Xbox Game Pass saved our game. But at the same time, we're going to throw the devs under the bus because it wasn't a compelling enough title for it to sell a lot.
And not give them a bonus because of it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're writers. If I'm a developer working for Square Enix, I'm like, fuck these guys. I might as well just get sold to a different company that has a different philosophy and see how they do things as well. So that's the biggest thing that I take away from that as well.
Yeah, and when you read the whole NFT and blockchains, like, because somebody broke it down, essentially what they're saying is they're gonna have some type of setup for it, and if it takes off, they already have the setup for it, and if it doesn't take off, then it is what it is. But it's not gonna take off because obviously so many people are against it, and it's just not really, and it's already like a failed thing already and stuff like that. That's why everybody was speaking. I'm not too worried about that. And Yoshi P, right, director of Final Fantasy 16, PlayStation 5 exclusive, already said he's not going to introduce that to any of his games.
Oh yeah, you can't introduce NFTs into a Final Fantasy game. Like there's no utility for it. It's not going to help the game. It's like, oh, I want this little fucking image of it. NFTs are a scam. Like I've been telling people, NFTs have no real utility whatsoever, unlike other things that are related to crypto that have real use cases that can actually better things like decentralized finance, so that transactions are not like fucked around with whatsoever, and being able to see the history of transactions and not have it centralized by one entity. So from that standpoint, I think it's pretty lucrative for like companies that can do it well. But for a company like Square Enix, I don't know what the fuck they're going to use it for. Honestly, they need to be more upfront with it.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind Microsoft. Like it wouldn't affect me. Microsoft got it, but just because I know that's what Smooth wanted it, I'm kind of glad.
Oh man, yeah, man. Like, the cool thing is like this is how I look at it. All right, even though I wanted Crystal Dynamics for my own selfish reasons. I'm a big fan of Tomb Raider, or at least the recent reboot. I like what Adios did with Guardians. And look, hopefully they're able to make the titles that they did at that expense, at that budget. And at the end of the day, Xbox can work with them for deals. They'll probably easier get a deal with them than they were able to get Square Enix. Square Enix and PlayStation be playing footsies for over 30 years. So
And Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. So
Nintendo has a lot of Square Enix exclusives that are coming out as well too.
Yeah.
So
so
just look out for the Japanese brothers, man. That's what it is.
Yeah. So
that's true though. Xbox can get because like what I said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Embrace the Group are doing timed exclusive deals. One of them is through Aspire with Nice Little Old Republic remake as well too. So
yeah, trash ass deal. Yeah, so
I can't wait for the Xbox prediction. But go ahead.
Yeah,
showcase.
Yeah, so no, that was but yeah, so shout outs to Embracer Group. They they're buying, buying up. They don't go through any sort of regulatory scrutiny at all. They're slowly becoming the Universal Music Group of gaming.
It's probably because none of their acquisitions has been $70 billion.
That is very much true. I do agree with that.
So, so that happened. Xbox didn't buy Crystal Dynamics, and they confirmed that they are still working and they will continue to work on Perfect Dark with the initiative. So that deal does not impact that.
Xbox is not going to buy any studios until the Activision deals goes through. They're working on that first. Before
and this is why I'm upset at that deal came into their lap like that. Because at the end of the day, it's like, all right, if it's available, why not? It's Activision Blizzard. But as for somebody like me, like honestly, Activision, even though they're big, they got Call of Duty. They don't make, once Call of Duty became a hit, they stopped making games outside of Call of Duty. They haven't made like enough content, even though they got so many studios, so many IPs that they can literally produce multiple games on an annual basis. They only resulted into producing Call of Duty on an annual basis, right? So the thing is like, me personally, as an Xbox gamer, I don't see like, outside of Call of Duty, knowing that it's a big deal, I don't see the perk. Really, I understand why Microsoft obviously see the perk in having Activision, but me as a gamer, I don't see the perk in Activision. Like me, I'm the one that wants like the Crystal Dynamics and because I like their games. I'm the one that wants the Ubisoft because I like at least 2 to 3 of the games they release annually. So even though I understand why it won't make sense in some cases, it's just as me being selfish. I think I'm like, yo, this makes sense for me because, for example, Ubisoft. I buy Ubisoft, at least 2-3 Ubisoft games each year, right? So the way I look at it is like, all right, if Microsoft bought them, that's 3 games that I know, like that would be in Game Pass that I would be like playing and that I know I'm going to play, right? So that's the way honestly I look at it. Like Call of Duty is like now the surplus on Call of Duty is like I don't buy Call of Duty anymore, right? I stopped buying Call of Duty. The reason why I had Cold War is because I got a review code, surprisingly. But I didn't buy Vanguard, and then that was like before I knew of any sort of. I was like, they're on a $70 train, so like you know what I mean. Like I would have only wanted to play the campaign, and that's a waste of money to literally play the campaign. But it's just that because this crazy deal fell on their lap, shit like they lose out on shit like Crystal Dynamics and even Ubisoft, which is like I said, I find value in them, but I understand anybody would for any publisher it'll be trouble to add Ubisoft. So I would like Microsoft to do it, but I wouldn't mind if EA or Take-Two was able to do it. But it looks like some private firm is doing Ubisoft, right? Or at least they're trying to, right?
Well, they're trying to take over. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think Ubisoft wants to be acquired by a firm. If Ubisoft does want to be acquired, they'd rather be acquired by a different, like a bigger publisher or someone who's been in the industry for a while, whether it's a Microsoft or Sony.
Yeah, that would be better.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like for them to just get bought out by somebody else who's an equity firm. Like they're not in gaming. It doesn't.
I can't stand when equity firms buy into shit like that because it's just never like a good thing. If I'm Microsoft, right? You're probably not gonna buy Ubisoft, but you do sign some lucrative agreement to get all their IPs on Game Pass, day and date. You do something like you sign like the closest to like a merger partnership as you can, right? And if they were able to get like acquired by whomever, whatever, try to get that sign that like that deal got to be like like a decent amount. You know how they sign like these 5-year, 10-year deals and shit like that. That's what I would do if I were them. But what else do we got on the agenda today? I know Microsoft and Xbox and Bethesda announced their Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase. Last year was the first annual one with the with both Xbox and the Bethesda in the name. They're gonna go with the Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase again, Sunday, June 12th. They announced it pretty early this time around because last year they announced it. I want to say 2 weeks before the actual show. It was like the end of May they announced it.
Yeah.
This time they announced it, well in advance. So that means they're probably gearing up. They're probably doing all their recording and stuff like now. I think that's all taking place now. And people already teased things like Phil Spencer already teased like announcements that he's excited about, trailers, demos that he's excited about, reveals he's excited about. Jason Ronald tweeted like about demos that he's seen that he's looking forward to, and he's using the eye emoji. So they're doing their thing to get people excited on Twitter about it. This one to me, I feel it's the big one because a lot of people say, all right, back when the Xbox Series X was revealed, and I think the 2020 game showcase came out, there was like, yeah, Xbox is gonna be everything's gonna come out in 2023. And when we were in 2020, that felt like a long time from now, but now it's 2022 and that's all next year. So it's like, okay, like this is really, there should be really no questions after the show of what's coming out over the next 12 to 18 months from this show, because we obviously got to see all the releases, the big releases that are coming out this year, and then you have to see all the major releases that's coming out next year to start the marketing for them. So oh man, I'm going to start with you. Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase revealed June 12th. Thoughts? Are you excited for it? Do you have any expectations?
Yeah, obviously, we're excited to get any kind of gaming news for Xbox, because right at this point, with, to be honest, the past 5 months they haven't really, they've been quiet. They've been very extremely quiet. They really haven't anything that's come out for release wise. Halo's been kind of on and down, so we need something from them, right? We need something to get us ready and get us playing. To make these purchases that we did for these systems be worth it. I'm just hoping that I'm not exactly too sure what specific stuff I'm like looking for. My personal take is I would love if they could show something with Fable. Ever since they announced that Fable was coming, like that's probably my most anticipated title from Xbox. And so, like, I'm just hoping on the inside that they do. The other little thing is I'd like for them to release that damn GoldenEye remake that got rumored like back in January. I want that.
Yeah, what the hell is going on with that, man?
Yeah, because there's achievements for it. The developers have gotten stuff for it. It exists. It's real.
Yeah, why are they holding on to it? They could have been dropped that shit during this dry spell. Like.
They should self-drop that. They shouldn't even announce that, to be honest with you.
They didn't announce it. It got, the achievements got leaked on True Achievements.
Oh, okay.
So Xbox hasn't even officially like acknowledged the fact that it exists, to be like, but we as a community know that it does exist because of the live listing of achievements that two developers have gotten, right? So like, I don't know about big stuff. Maybe seeing something from. I'm trying to see if I doubt we'll get anything from Perfect Dark. The Coalition, it'd be nice to see like what they're working on, what they got cooking, because Gears of War they shut down the
Gears 5 esports, right?
Yeah, the esports for Gears 5.
They shut down a map builder to work on whatever project they were in. I'm like, I didn't understand that tweet, but they said it.
Maybe since they're going to be the people that showcase Unreal Engine 5 the best, So it'd be kind of interesting to see what they're working on, if they're going to announce anything from them. And I mean, I want games. The thing that I want the most from Xbox is I want gameplay being shown and definitive dates for these games to come out. Like we got to get something. Waiting 5 months to even hear anything about stuff, if not longer, is just, I think, a little ridiculous. So hopefully we got just a couple more weeks to go, and then I hope all that stuff gets fixed.
Absolutely. Nick, man, what about you? Nick?
Damn, you see, does not know how to use Discord.
Yeah,
He's sleeping.
He tries to unmute himself. He leaves the fucking Discord.
No,
He
I'm
doesn't
gonna
have the
tell
right
you, I
button.
gotta be on my phone because for some reason my microphone on the PC ain't working. But
okay.
I don't know, man. I think they're gonna I think only thing gonna come out is Redfall. I think they're gonna show some Evolve this year. I think we're gonna see some Starfield Evolve. I don't think Starfield gonna probably release, man.
You really don't think it's going to release?
They said 2022.
They
That's
got
what they
that.
said.
They got that date
I
set.
don't.
I believe it's really. I believe it's going to come.
They
I
have
think
a whole date on that game.
that's going to be like probably their main showcase.
I don't think
right?
Hellblade 2 or none of that. I don't think none of it gonna release.
And that's
We're
what-
gonna see some gameplay, but I don't think.
I really hope Hellblade does find its way to come out this year, because that would be
Oh
great.
no.
You don't think?
Nah, not coming out. Nah, maybe early next year. I don't think that's coming out this year, bro.
Well, then what the hell do you think's coming out then?
It's gonna be Redfall and a
Redfall
couple of
and
third
Starfield?
part. I mean, Forza Motorsport. Redfall.
You think that's coming out?
like
that
a
was
season 3 of fucking Halo? Like,
Man, no, that's coming out in November. That's stupid.
You think?
well, I mean, that's what they're gonna show. Like, I'm just saying what they're gonna be showing at. Like,
They're
in
gonna,
June.
wait, you tell me they're gonna show Halo season 3 when season 2 just came out?
that man. It
Well,
depends.
this is May. We talking June. They gonna show what's gonna come out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think
yeah,
it's-
but that's but the season 2's only been out for a month. At that point, when his showcase comes out, you really
What
think
is it,
they're gonna
like 2
focus?
maps and a couple of guns? Like, what do you mean? Like, what we gonna do?
I hope they don't spend any time on Halo at the
No,
show.
I mean,
They
no.
just
My,
let it go.
the only thing I hope, if season 3 brings a campaign expansion, then yeah, I would like to see that, because I thoroughly enjoyed the campaign to Halo Infinite. So that's the next thing I want to see. Multiplayer. I know people got their newfound hate for it, and it's a cool thing to try to trash it at every moment they get. But campaign, like I said, and I'm always gonna play the multiplayer. But I do have I enjoyed thoroughly the campaign, and if they have like an expansion with a new biome for the campaign to show off, by all means, show it. Like, carry on.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't think they got too much to show. I mean, they got a lot to show, but they ain't
They
gonna
got 90
have a lot
minutes to
coming
show.
out. They ain't gonna have a lot coming out this year.
That
Which
doesn't matter.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it though. Just get some, just make some deals and make shit happen, man. You know what I mean?
You telling me you don't want them to put out games?
Yeah, I don't want to put out nothing half or ass. You know what I mean? At the same time, you gotta
He said
remember.
half or
Come on,
ass.
old man. Look, old man. I got all consoles, so I mean, I don't really be.
Well,
trying
I
to-
mean, I get that too. Like that's the one thing that I like about
like,
them.
I don't get it. Like, I
Is
don't
when,
understand it.
but I'm just like I'm anticipating. Like I want to play these games for Microsoft.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm excited to play like Hellblade and Starfield and Perfect Dark and Fable. Like I want to get my hands on these games. Like I get that. Like yeah, if we own all consoles, like it's never really a dry season for us, because if Xbox ain't putting anything out, you just switch over to PlayStation. If PlayStation ain't putting anything out, they switch over to Xbox or Nintendo or whatever the hell is coming out. But at the same time, like these are highly anticipated games that I personally I want to play them, dude. Like I'm excited. Like, and they just sit there, they announce them, they show a little tease, and then it's like we don't get that shit for years.
Well,
like,
I ended like this with you though, old man. at least we're not getting no DLC expansion like.
Man, I want to stop that right there because God of War Ragnarok one, God of War 2018, fantastic.
Listen, it ain't just the God of War, man. It's Horizon. All these games just expansions of assets that we already had, man. Let's just face it.
You can say that about any sequel, though.
Let's just rush everything out.
That's what I'm saying. Every sequel is DLC, and if that's the case,
yeah, they're like Gears 5 and Forza and all that stuff. Reused assets and everything like that.
And I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm gonna say, yep, I feel the same way. Gears 4 and Gears 5. The only thing different is the story is better. Like, let's keep it real all the way.
No, that's fine. As long as you keep
that same energy, But we can't say Halo was like Halo 5 though. Somebody said that I think on Twitter, like Halo Infinite.
No, it's
Halo Infinite definitely anything like 5.
It's less than 5.
Nah, hell.
Well, gameplay wise, Halo Infinite is way better than 5 in my opinion.
No, the campaign is way better than 5.
The campaign.
Nobody.
Halo
gameplay is better.
Honestly,
is better.
Honestly, me personally, Halo Infinite is way better than Halo 5, even with its shortcomings.
Yeah, without the content is better.
I hated Halo 5. That was just
Halo
bad.
5.
That campaign was atrocious,
bro. Like, you could tell people on Twitter wasn't playing Halo 5. They talking about Halo 5 was so much better with the content. No, it wasn't. Like,
it was not.
It might have had more. When they say it's better with the content, they just say it put out more maps.
No,
but that game was ass. Bro, like, it was terrible.
Didn't have more maps, actually. The maps came with the Forge, which came later.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the drop and everything, the beta. None of that stuff was there day one. I don't know what.
The only thing that they had,
I'm pretty sure like it had more launch maps though.
Remember that game mode they had?
I'll give you that. They had more launch maps.
Remember that one game mode that they had? That PvP versus that PvP/PvE game mode, that Warzone mode that they had. That was good. Like, I fuck with that.
Yeah, that wasn't too. That was like the one redeeming quality I think.
I wish Halo Infinite had that mode, but I don't know. It is what it is. All right, my turn. All right, because I vehemently disagree with NickBanks in terms of what they're going to come through with this event. Listen, we had the past 2 years, they announced a shit ton of games, but we need release dates. You know what games I'm checking for? I'm checking for Fable. I need a Fable update. I need an Avowed update. I need that State of Decay 3 update. Mm-hmm. I need that Everwild update. Now, fuck that game. We don't need that Everwild update. We need that Hellblade 2 gameplay, like full fucking like 5 to 10 minute gameplay demo of Hellblade 2.
Actual gameplay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Actual gameplay. Like, I need a developer.
Like, what are you talking about?
I need a developer. Like, yo. So here's what Ninja Theory needs to do, right? This year, 2022, Project Mara comes out, and then they also need to say, hey, 2023, we need a release date for Hellblade 2. We need that, right? What else? We need Redfall, Outer Worlds 2 update, which I don't think we're gonna get an Outer Worlds 2 update, honestly.
That's definitely sitting on the burner somewhere.
It's either gonna be Outer Worlds 2 or Avowed. One of those two games like are gonna get an update this event, right? So there's a lot. Like, they announced a lot of games in 2020 and 2021. So we need to see gameplay and dates on these games. Like, there's no fucking way we go into this event and they're like, oh, you remember this game? Guess what? We don't even have a launch window for it. It's no way it happens. So we need more gameplay for some of these games, because all we got were teaser trailers for a lot of these games. We need release date windows for these games, because so far it's been a little dry. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's all we need. And it'll be a very successful event.
Yeah. I didn't know we were
probably some newer titles here and there, but I need updates on existing titles that came out, that got announced. And then I need Coalition. To show me off that UE5. What they've been doing with that shit. I need to see it.
Let me ask you a question, though, so you won't go too far into what you need. What do you expect to happen? What do you think is going to happen is, I think, the question, right?
I think they're going to update us on a lot of the games that already got announced, and throw some hits in there as well.
Yeah. I would rather have more updates and like release dates on like the stuff that they have announced versus new stuff, because they have so many stuff is just sitting there that we're waiting for, that like focusing on new stuff right now, like that's going to be another 2 to 3 years in the roadmap. Like, yeah, new stuff is always cool to see, but like, I really need the update on the stuff that you already told us about.
Because what's the one argument against Xbox? Oh, they don't have the games. What's the compelling title that they're gonna have that makes me buy an Xbox Series X or a Series S? Well, they need to do that. Show those compelling titles. Make it be known, hey, this is what we're coming with. And I don't want to hear any excuses once we get release dates for these games. People are like, well, I'm still not buying Xbox. No. Eventually, it's going to reach a point where the Xbox has no games narrative is going to die.
So
one day.
What about Chris? Your thoughts on the Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase? And will it make you get an Xbox or a PC?
I don't know. We gotta see what they show. Really, I just only really care about the RPGs. So I definitely want an update on Fable. If they hopefully they give us one. Like actual gameplay and shit like that. Avowed, I'm curious to see what that turns out to be like. Of course, everybody wants to see what Starfield, what the hell that's gonna be. What else they had in their RPG lineup? Outer Worlds too. I hope they actually show what's actually gonna be in the game this time around, rather than that. I know they were trying to be funny last year, but when a lot of the show wasn't really gameplay, that's not a type of.
Come on,
I remember that they showed that CGI trailer of that monster, and they were talking about this isn't actually going to be in the game. You remember that shit? That fucking Outer Worlds? Yeah, but hopefully they showed some shit. And the only thing is, like, I'm trying to think of what game that I can say that I will really go out there and buy an Xbox for. That as far as an exclusive that isn't first party.
Game Pass, baby.
That will end up being an exclusive for PlayStation. Because I did that last year. If y'all don't remember, I remember last year before the Xbox showcase. You literally asked me the same exact question, Smooth, and this is what I said. I said, if Xbox can somehow revive or bring back Knights of the Old Republic, I will go buy an Xbox. And then 3 months later, that was the first game Sony showed at their conference. So I don't want to jinx it again for y'all, even though it benefit me. But it's just really, just show dope ass games that I really want to play. Like some of the RPGs that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, with some of these developers and with the backing of Microsoft and and everything like that, that Western RPGs can get back to how they were back in the 360. Because I feel like they're falling off last generation. Aside from Witcher 3 and Divinity Original Sin, everything else was like, okay to mediocre, like Mass Effect, Andromeda, whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't really like that. Fallout 4, I didn't like it. Dragon Quest Inquisition, surprisingly, I didn't like it. And a lot of people love that game. That was the game of the year for a lot of people, but I didn't like it and shit like that. So, just mainly like the RPG. And if they come up with some surprises and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, then the Indiana Jones games as well. I feel like that needs to be shown because they announced that, over a year ago or something like that?
Yep, right after the acquisition.
Yeah, and so, just show. Oh, the one thing I don't want to see, and they didn't do this last year, thank God. I think last year showcase was paced pretty well. I think it was very well paced, even though 90% of the content I didn't really care for, but I thought it was very well paced. I don't want to see this whole bullshit where it's like they announce a game and it's like 10 motherfuckers just sitting around on the table talking about what their ambitions are and stuff like that. That they can leave that after the show. Do all that developer talk and interviews and stuff like that after the show. It ruins the pacing of the show. It just ruins the shows in general. After the show, the after show and shit like that, that's cool. But they obviously have a lot to cover because they said it's going to be around 90 minutes. So I expect them to show a lot. We know it's going to be pretty much one big ass Game Pass commercial as well too. So just show some dope ass games. I'm a gamer above everything else. So if you show shit that impresses me, I'm gonna keep it real, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. All right. So my question to everybody, because I have a lot of things, right? Because so obviously, what's the biggest game this year coming out on Xbox, right? Biggest game this year coming out on Xbox. Starfield, right? And that was showed last year. So obviously, Starfield is going to be shown this year because we got to see the gameplay, right? And they got to do because this June is gonna lead up to all like the blowout, the gameplay, the betas, the stuff like where that's supposed to hype everybody up. But not only Starfield, what is going to be the biggest game for next year? Because whatever the biggest headliner for next year is going to be shown at this show.
Probably Indiana Jones.
You think Indiana Jones?
Maybe. Or in Hellblade 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hellblade 2 coming out next year. Beginning of next year.
See, and yes, like I think it could be Indiana Jones, and I think it could be Avowed. My thing is that
depends on how far along that game is.
Well, they wanted to show Avowed at the Game Awards, but they chose Hellblade.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because aren't they also working on like actually releasing Grounded, and then aren't they doing like another project?
Yeah, so Grounded is they have to release the actual release is this year, which I'm pretty sure we'll get a confirmed date at the show. Obsidian got 2 games targeting next year, which is Avowed, and then the game that they didn't announce yet, which is Project Pendulum. But that's gonna be like a little like $30 game or some shit like that. So I'm not even but like it's a smaller game, like pretty much on like the size of like Grounded, but so it's not gonna like their big games are Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. I think Outer Worlds 2 is really cranking because they like I've heard more updates on Outer Worlds 2 than they have on Avowed. But yeah,
I think Outer Worlds 2 may come out before Avowed because they already have like assets and shit like that already established in the first game.
But the thing is, the game that made Xbox buy Avowed or had Xbox excited for Obsidian was Avowed. So it's like
maybe the concept of it, but we don't know how far that one is in development. I probably come like. I just want to see it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's true. Yeah. I mean,
it's easier to drop a DLC than a newer IP. So
yeah. My thing is, like before Bethesda fell on Xbox lap, Xbox thought Avowed could be the answer to Skyrim that we were waiting for. So, like, I'm gonna say, and what's up, Addict man? How you doing?
What's going on?
Yeah, now you're gonna get Avowed. You're gonna get 2 Skyrims. You're gonna get 2 Fallout games and everything like
Starfield.
that.
But like Avowed and Skyrim, Avowed and Elder Scrolls are like 3 years apart for sure. Like,
I actually feel like,
we're not getting that. Elder
yeah, but
honestly,
right? Because playing these, I'm talking about mainline Bethesda's RPGs, right? And then playing some of the Obsidian ones. I have more confidence in Obsidian because I think that they create better gameplay with those games. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like the feeling of those games, gameplay wise, they just make them better.
Yeah, but I think Obsidian have better gameplay and Bethesda have better systems.
Yeah, normally, I do agree with you. We have to see how, because like, look, Starfield. Regardless how you feel about that, we don't know how that's going to turn out. I feel like Elder Scrolls already has a formula. We have to see how they innovate that formula. Starfield's a brand new concept, so like that could go either way. But as far as like Elder Scrolls 6, that's what's really going to test how Obsidian handles their games. Is how they react to Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. So
but Avowed is going to come out way before Elder Scrolls, so they won't have anything to react.
No, I'm talking about whatever they do after that, like the Outer Worlds. And the good thing is, like, I don't know if, because I know there's a little competition between those 2 teams, so I don't know how. It's interesting because I'm pretty sure you ask either one of the studios, they never thought they'd be under the same banner. So you have, arguably 2 of the best RPG makers that's ever existed, and now they're having to and there used to be competition, beef between the 2 studios, and now they have to work together. So these things where all the heads come together, like they got to interact with each other. But it can still be internal friendly competition to get to better themselves as well.
And the cool thing I'm
not saying it's beef or anything like that. I'm just saying it's interesting how everything turned out.
And the thing about the ZeniMax Studios, they're already like collaborative, like within the studios that they had. Like it helps Arcane helps Tango helps, like what I mean. They kind of Machine Games helps, but Bethesda, like they go on hand in hand. And we know Bethesda have already worked with Obsidian for New Vegas and stuff like that. So. And then and they're in talks to be working with they work with both
It's
Obsidian and NXL for their like earlier titles, and they're in talks to be working with NXL again for the Fallout remasters, right?
the biggest thing is just how they handle it. How they handle it is Obsidian and Bethesda Software Studios. Are they going to be like? Are they going to treat this like we can boost each other up? We can both win. We can both make great games. Or are they secretly going to be behind closed doors, being like, "We gonna make the better game"? So
It should be both.
Either way, it will work.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to be both. I feel like it's going to be the latter. I feel like I don't feel like those two studios. There's not going to be a lot of working together.
I think, but no. As far as this showcase, my expectations is gameplay and release windows. I know Ole Man Logan says definitive dates. I expect at least release windows.
We're not getting definitive dates.
Yeah.
We need release windows at the very least for some of these games that already announced.
For sure, and I think
you.
Go ahead.
Sorry, kid. I think you might get an avowed like release date, but as far as besides that, like you'll probably see if Hellblade's there, you'll probably see a release window with Hellblade.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about anything else. Like I'm pretty sure you might see an actual concrete date, like a street date for Avowed.
Yeah, so the games that I want to see. Obviously, we're going to see gameplay for Starfield. It seems like the logo, the promotional image for the game showcase is damn near Starfield, so that we know. I'm just hoping it keeps its release date, and if they keep their release date and they announce like a beta, a promotional beta, I think their release date is safe. I want to see Redfall, and I want to see Redfall with a release date, because if it's open-ended, that means it's still subject to delay. But I do think we'll see Redfall, we'll see gameplay, and we'll get a release date for late summer, like late September, early October, late summer, early fall, or something like that. Or they could play on the name Fall, but it's supposed to take place in Redfall, Massachusetts. So pay attention.
When do you think?
Go ahead.
When do you think Avowed will come out?
I think Avowed is Q3 2023. So
I actually think it's Q2.
What would be Q2? So the first quarter is between January and March, and then April through
that'll be spring and summer time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll get it at the beginning of summer.
All right. I think we see Contraband, and that's Q1 of 2023. I think we get the gameplay.
Supposedly, I don't know how true it is. They were for a minute they were going to show Avowed over Hellblade at the Video Game Awards, but they changed their mind. So I think Avowed's pretty much done. They're probably just doing the last little minor tweaks with that game. I think that game is it's in its final stretch of development.
Okay. Yeah. So. I do think we see Avowed, I do think we see gameplay, and I do think it's coming. I do think it's coming next year for sure, and that's why I don't think Outer Worlds 2. I think Outer Worlds 2 is probably 2024.
Yeah, mid 2024.
Yeah. Hellblade is like, I don't know. Hellblade could be, because I don't know if you were here when I asked what's going to be the biggest game for 2023. But I think I asked you in a phone call, what do you think the biggest game next year is going to be? Because then we know that game has to be shown at this year's show, at some capacity.
It might be Hellblade. Hellblade might not be at this showcase, and they might save that for next, ending next year's show, and then it'll come out the ender part of next year. I feel like they might end. They might have how Hellblade showed up at the Video Game Awards last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be Fable this year.
Oh yeah, because they do. Yeah, they say so. They gave Perfect Dark at the Game Awards. They gave Hellblade twice at the Game Awards, and yeah, that's about it. Because they'll be due to. So obviously, a bunch of studios. Rand said he heard every studio submitted something. One of those games is getting.
Doesn't mean they're going to use it.
Yeah. One of those games getting shown at the Game Awards, and I don't know if they're doing the XO this year. I expect.
It'll be interesting. if they do something minor at the Video Game Awards and they do XO, and that's where they put that.
That's true. That's true, but I think the Game Awards is like it's safe for things that are a little bit further like out. You know what I mean? Like when we saw Perfect Dark, when we saw Hellblade initially. But the thing is, like, reason why I'm on the edge about Hellblade is because they showed, gameplay. Though it was like a small like kind of like clip of a gameplay is like one focus section. She didn't do much.
They just show her walking and throwing the spear, and that's pretty much it.
So it's
we want to see actual like combat.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like I'm curious. So the thing is like there's a lot. I feel like next year's still going to be big. I think I do think they hit that 4-game mark next year with Contraband, Avowed,
Hellblade 2.
Hellblade
2 has to drop next year.
I think Indiana Jones is going to be that big game. I feel either Avowed or Indiana Jones. I feel like it's one of them. That's going to be like that. Okay, even though there's going to be all the other games are going to be big, but their holiday game, that big holiday game, I think is going to be either Indiana Jones and I think Hellblade, could launch at the in the Q4 of next year, but I think Avowed is ready for so I think it comes out like in Q2.
I think Hellblade has to be ready as well. Like they've been working on that for a while.
Hellblade got hit pretty hard by the pandemic, probably the most in everything.
Damn.
Like you got to think a lot of Hellblade is mocap, and that was a wrap for a while.
Yeah.
Do you think they showed this Namco Killer Instinct?
They might open it with that. If that's there, they might open that.
I heard about that. I want that. I definitely want that because I felt like, but because I was watching. I don't know, y'all know Maximilian, right? The fighting game content creator.
Yes. Great man.
When he broke it down, like with Killer Instinct 2013 and how, like, because I think Ken Lobb was the one who spearheaded that project at the time because he was one of the creators. He got like Double Helix to work on it, and and those developers and everything like that. He was like he said everything was perfect, right, perfectly positioned and whatever. And Killer Instinct came out the way today. It came out. It was like the first game that had rollback netcode. It actually set the standard for online fighting games moving forward. That's why you have all these online fighting games that now have rollback netcode and shit like that. You can thank Killer Instinct for that and whatnot. But it'll be interesting to see if Bandai, if it's true that Bandai Namco is the one developing it. It'll be interesting which team it will be. Would it be the Tekken or the Soul Calibur team or anything like that, and what would be their take on it, because they have a lot to live up to, because Killer Instinct 2013 was fucking amazing. Like it's easy to get into for newcomers, but it had a lot of in-depth mechanics and high-level mind games, and had that rock paper scissor, like where you break the combos and stuff like that. You guess which combos to break, anything like that. So, and I think Nick, right? They were supposed to come out with like another season, but they just never did. But yeah, because that's another thing, right? Like I think Xbox, since Sony has a lot of exclusive fighting games, Xbox has already their own IP with that, and Killer Instinct is definitely a fan favorite in the FGC. A lot of people in the fighting game community really enjoy Killer Instinct.
I feel like if Microsoft isn't working on Killer Instinct, that's an L. Like, if they ain't doing something to progress a Killer Instinct the next couple years, that's an L. That Killer Instinct is such a big title at this point, like, and not necessarily because it's a fighter, because I do think the fighting community is still like relatively a niche community. I mean, there's still millions of people. You can be a niche community regardless of how many people's there. I feel like they can open that whole conference of Killer Instinct.
Yeah, that would set the kind of on fire.
Yep, bring it back to Evo and everything like that.
Isn't that how they did the 2013 Xbox E3?
Yeah, I don't know if they started off with it, but I remember the trailer that because they showed it. They showed it was Jago fighting Saberwolf, I think. It was the first showing or whatever, but yeah, I remember that.
What do you guys think they're going to open and close the show with? Because I always get made fun of because Cog says I put too much energy behind what they open and close the show with, but I think it's when they open a show up with a whack game, you know the show's gonna be whack automatically. Like, because it's like that is the opening first impression to that conference, and
Yeah,
that ending
that is
is the last thing you think of. Like, that's why they do the we got one more game for you. They don't do that because they couldn't fit that in the middle. They do that to blow your mind before they end the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like opening up a
I
concert.
think-
You can't open up a concert whack. Like your crowd's gonna be flat. They're gonna leave.
No, I was gonna say I think Starfield is going to be one or the other. I think Starfield is either going to open or is going to close. Probably going to close.
This is where
I think they're going to open with
this is-
Starfield.
I think it might open.
Open with
I think it
Starfield
might
last
open
year.
with it.
Yeah, but that was see, because it was a trailer. Like Todd Howard got to do his demo, like, you know what I mean. So if the rumors are true that Coalition has a game show that they got to show and it's ready for next year, Coalition is usually closes games when they have every Gears that the Coalition's been behind has closed in E3, whether it been Gears 5, Gears 4, and their new IP, and they may not even like. I remember they can do what they did last year, right? So technically, right, Forza Horizon 5 closed the show. They had the gameplay demo, and then the one more thing was the Redfall thing, right? It was the Redfall.
That was a
thing.
horrible one more thing. I'm gonna be real with you. That was a horrible one more thing.
So so I feel like they could do it like that. Like, you know, they can do the Starfield. You know, Todd Howard has his 10 to 12 minutes playing the game, and then he could announce, you know, another stream for like Monday that we're gonna get that 30-minute blowout or something like that. And then, you know, Phil Spencer just come out stage and says, you know, the Coalition has been waiting to show you this, and they show us like this crazy ass Nanite Lumens fucking Mandalorian. I don't know what but like it would be like, I'm looking forward to like the Coalition, you know, like Coalition and Playground has like from the Xbox Game Studios like has like the ultimate respect. They don't like those two literally carried Xbox through the tough time. So I would be looking forward to what they're going to do, but yeah, I don't know who closes the show. And then again, you're like, how much time does Todd Howard? The Starfield's the new IP, right? We've seen 30-minute Fallout demos, 20-minute, you know, Elder Scroll demos and stuff like that. How do they do that? And the show's not going to be exactly.
But
90 minutes. It might be a little bit more than 90 minutes.
The Fallout examples is when they were doing their own show, and that was the highlight of their show.
Yeah.
Obviously, Starfield's probably going to be the highlight of the show, but for the most part, Bethesda didn't really have anything relevant to show besides those Fallout demos. So that's why they took so much of the time on Fallout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, what is it? It's next month, the month of May, right? Over the next couple of weeks, we're probably going to start hearing like different types of like, you know, teases or leaks. I know Jason Arano, I said earlier in the podcast, has already been tweeting about the demos he's seen, and then Phil Spencer talking about like rehearsals and him being excited about all the announcements, the reveals, and stuff like that. So I think this show has to be a big show because, like I said, since 2020, after the 2020 showcase, everybody said, well, Xbox will start hitting their stride in 2023. Well, this is the glimpse where we would see like, okay, this is where it kind of starts, you know what I mean? And so like pretty much from here onward, it should be like kind of like, I don't want to say this, like, I know I'm like kind of like speaking like an absolute.
In theory, a crazy output of games like, you know, every other month or something like that.
Every year the output's going to get higher and higher.
Has to.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Allegedly.
No, I mean, the output's going to be there. It's just we don't know what the game's going to be like. So,
Right. I wonder what happened to Everwild, man.
Oh,
They
yeah,
canceled that, yeah.
They had to reboot the development of that game because they had no
go ahead
clue
and
what they were
cancel
doing,
that game,
man.
bro. I
They
wouldn't
better
do
not
that.
show up, man. I hope they don't show up. Like
They
that's the
shouldn't
one
show
studio
because
I don't-
we've seen
I
don't want to show up.
Everwild. We've seen I think Everwild 3 times.
That's the one studio.
that's it.
Yo, if you ain't coming correct, don't come at all. That's
Yo,
it.
I wouldn't be surprised. That would probably be a good thing if they cancel that game. I ain't even
We
lie
should.
to you.
At this point, they have no fucking clue what they
God
want to do with it.
damn.
They admitted it. Like we were streaming that shit when they came out and they said, "Yeah, we don't know what we're doing with the game." Essentially,
I think
that's what they
essentially
did.
What the thing is that because what they're trying to do is try to follow the Sea of Thieves thing. Because Sea of Thieves was a blank
Hold on.
canvas, and what they were doing, they were going to do that a step in a different setting, which is.
But they didn't know what to
And
do
to-
with the
and to-
gameplay.
To be fair, I have a feeling Microsoft can let them do whatever the hell they want because of the success of Sea of Thieves.
Mhm.
The crazy thing
allow
is the Sea of Thieves thing. That was like they just experienced developers, so of course they like, oh shit, well we can do this. No, you can't. You can't just man.
You
They
can't
should make
take that same model and
Yeah,
implement
like that's
every
crazy if they
single
do that,
game.
bro.
Like it hits every once in a while, like No Man's Sky, Sea of Thieves, but you can't say, "Oh, we're gonna implement that same philosophy."
So Rare and
try to figure it
343.
out.
I don't mind them doing it as long as it's a preview program thing. Don't release that shit for $60 and expect me to be okay with a blank game. Put it in a preview program and build with the community.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but they better announce something else then, because
Yeah. Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Oh, they ain't got
Rare.
nothing.
I don't know. Yeah, they don't like. I know they're doing like they got the whole Sea of Thieves team, and that's like healthy. But yeah, it'd be nice for them to like actually do some work. It's like it's crazy. I think there's multiple Rare games being worked on, but not by Rare. Like,
yeah, it's probably Rare.
That's crazy.
If you see Rare, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a cooperative development team and someone else is making one of their shits and they're both announcing it.
Yeah, but that's what I've been saying. Like because Rare is definitely not Rare back in the day. They don't have the same talent and everything like that, but they have great IPs. So whenever there's Activision things, goes through. If it goes through, maybe they can get what do they call it, Toys for Bob or something like that. Maybe they can get them to make another Banjo-Kazooie game, and things of that nature. Some of the Rare IPs, they can make Banjo-Kazooie, Conquer, and stuff like that. Like that would be a perfect studio for some of those old Rare
Banjo,
IPs.
Blinks the Cat, like you know what I mean?
Cameo, all of them.
Yep. Cameo would have been real nice. Like I mean, I keep trying to play it, but I forget how those controls. The controls is what date that game. The game looks good. The game runs at 4K, 60, auto HDR right now. But the controls is like
Listen,
really
those
the
controls,
Xbox One
man.
game looks good. I'm not even Xbox One. The original.
What out of all the stuff you've seen, what is something that they can show that would surprise you?
The Mandalorian.
They didn't show us
the
Mandalorian.
MMO that's rumored.
No, he said out of the things that they've shown so far.
I meant that you know.
State of Decay 3.
No.
You said
State of Decay 3.
would you
Yeah,
say
State of
that?
Decay
you
3
know.
would be a surprise.
I meant that you know.
Like, you mean the games that we know of that will surprise me?
Yeah.
Like
Magic Mara.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. I don't know. No, if we see Perfect Dark, and with gameplay, that would surprise me because I'm not. I have no.
That ain't
Yeah,
happening.
that's true. Actually, I would go with that as well too. The Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, that would be
No,
good
if you
because
see,
this
no, if you're saying we know of it, but we have no expectation that's going to be around anytime soon.
right
If they show
because
it-
this whole
Yeah.
the whole like the
I
developers
would-
leaving and then I had to get Crystal Dynamics, so it will be
Yeah,
surprising
probably
if they
just-
show anything of it.
There
This
would
year.
be there would be two things that would surprise me: Fable gameplay and Indiana Jones gameplay.
Yeah, I mean that would be that. See, that's the thing, but I do think we see one of them. I think it's I think it's Indiana Jones. I think Indiana Jones might be that major game. Like for
Fable's
next year.
gameplay would actually surprise me more than Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is Indiana Jones even exclusive, bro? Like,
We don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
I
I think I don't know. It's made by Machine Games and everything like that. I think so. I think it is.
Lucasfilm.
I know
don't
Xbox signed up for Lucas Games. I know other studios signed up for Marvel. Xbox signed up for Lucas, and
What if it's multiplayer though?
if it's most,
Hey,
I
like-
mean, it could be for the simple
Hey,
fact that they revealed the game before the deal was final.
Guess what I'm getting it through GameFly, baby, on PS5.
No, you got
Nah, I'm
to
joking,
buy
I'm joking.
games, man. Your community buy games. Man. Stick to it.
Now I think I mean,
but Bone
it's-
Slave says Elder
it should be
Scrolls
exclusive.
gameplay. Yeah, people are saying Elder Scrolls and Gear 6 would
Oh
surprise
yeah,
them.
that would definitely. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, that would definitely be a surprise.
that is in the realm of unrealistic expectations.
What was it? Elder Scrolls?
So what if would you guys be surprised if we saw an acquisition announcement?
Yeah.
Yes, because
they still gotta
I
get
don't. They're still dealing with Activision, so that would be extremely surprising.
Yeah, it depends. If the studio only costed like 90 million or some shit like that, like IO or some shit like that, then
What?
We acquired EA. I'm like, what the
Nah,
fuck?
it won't be. Yeah, it wouldn't be like that.
We acquired Ubisoft.
Those publisher deals can't happen at E3 because
Oh,
they
look
have
what this
to.
person said. Rise 2.
I do think one thing that might be expected. One thing that could be shown off is Modern Warfare 2.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's most likely going to be shown at the Xbox.
What if they show that whole at the very end? It's like coming day one on Game Pass.
Actually, you know what? I don't know, but I think Activision might announce Modern Warfare 2 on their own time and not in a conference.
Well, they already announced that.
They're doing gameplay June
June
2nd, right?
But
Yeah, it'd be like a
it
trailer.
could be something that they're saying, hey, like it could just be announced there. Because if you think back, like the old, like before PlayStation got the marketing deal for Call of Duty, right? At every Xbox E3, they always showed off like the single player, like a mission of the single player campaign of Call of Duty.
Yeah, because they had the marketing rights at that time.
So that's what I'm saying. But now,
don't they still have the marketing rights?
They do, but like, what if they're like, yo, Modern Warfare 2 logo, Game Pass day and date.
I don't
but
think
what
they,
if this year?
out.
But what if this year was like the last like year of like marketing from like Sony or something like that, and it shows on Sony stage?
Well,
I think that's
fine,
possible. I mean, I think next year is the last year of their agreement, right? Wait, when did they get the agreement? In 2014, 2015?
They say that
it was 2015 because they got it with Black Ops 3.
No, they say they have like 3 more Call of Duties, right? That's supposed to be released on PlayStation. The one this year, Warzone 2, and then whatever comes out next year as far as mainline.
Yeah. I think Modern Warfare 2 is gonna be heat.
I do too, man. That logo looks so damn clean.
I like the Modern Warfare 2019. A lot of people went back and forth with me about it. I was like, listen, Modern Warfare 2019.
It was a solid.
It was a really solid Call of Duty. If you don't like it, you're bad at it. That's my opinion of it. I don't care.
No, I mean it would be nice to see like something like Activision related, like confirmed for Game Pass. I'm not sure.
I could actually see that happening. Like they come out during that event and say all their games are coming to Game Pass. Like, I could see that happening.
I'm gonna have to go back.
Do you think there's going to be an Activision Blizzard reference at all? Like,
I think a little one.
Yeah,
not like something huge. Not that it's going to take up, a big chunk of that 90 minutes. But I could see like a 2 to 5 minute.
What if they just do like a basic Game Pass?
I think
all these old Activision games are here in Game Pass.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. Like they're probably going to say, yeah, all these Call of Duty games like from like Vanguard and Modern and Black Ops 4 and stuff like that are now going to be on Game Pass.
What happens if they finish this deal sooner than we think and they announce it being done and all their games are coming to Game Pass at the show?
That would be.
That would be huge. I mean, that'd be definitely huge.
My thing is, can't they put this stuff in the Game Pass before all these regulatory stuff? Because
the thing is,
they can.
Yeah,
I don't see why they couldn't.
Because they can.
Just because they're not owned doesn't mean that they can't.
Yeah,
they'll still have to make like it's a regular deal.
Yeah. The thing is though is because this is so big, it might get shot down. So they're probably not trying to make waves until it's done.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Unless they feel like they're very sure that it's going to happen.
Imagine all these people on Twitter that was all these senators and stuff that was eyeballing the deal. Start seeing like media outlets in the gaming industry popping out. All of Activision's titles coming to Game Pass day and day
exclusively. Yeah, shit like that. Yeah,
they ain't trying to be in the news at all. Like that's I'm confident that's one of the reasons you don't hear from Microsoft much right now, like at all. Because like they have so much money riding on this deal that they'd rather not be in the media at all. Then obviously when it comes to this event, they have to have it. They can't get around that. But I don't think we'll hear a lot from Microsoft until this is completely done.
Yeah. So my thing is that what do we wait? What are we exactly waiting for now? They all voted. What they got? What 30 days to do? What they got to do? 30 days for Lena her high. Never mind. I was gonna say something rude. But
don't start it again. You're already getting flack on Twitter.
For Lena to review, like what did they want at this point? They submitted all the paperwork, they voted. Well, now they got to just wait for what?
Yeah, for the FTC process.
You know how court is, man. They take forever to process.
Yeah, it takes forever.
It.
A deal like this. That's why I say ain't gonna be complete till like the middle of next year. It could be earlier than that, but it's such a huge deal that it's just gonna take a while for everything to process.
I think it'll be done in the next 3 months.
I don't know. So, all right. So, Microsoft fiscal calendar, right? Because I gotta see where this thing falls. Where this thing falls, where the showcase fall in this fiscal calendar. I know it begins in like June or July. Their fiscal calendar. I don't know if I think it's July 1st. If it's July 1st, then I don't think we hear anything. Because like I said, the deal closes in the fiscal year of 2023. And they have until the end of the fiscal year, which is June.
That's where the deal is projected to close, but it could be earlier than that, or it could take longer than that. Depends.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then for some people, I think somebody mentioned as far as them, like they won't announce a publisher at E3. It's just impossible because when you buy somebody a publicly traded company, that has to be like you can't just buy it and then hold on to the announcement. That shit has to happen like literally the night before the day of it has to go live because the market has to react. And obviously people have the right to know all the stakeholders and stuff like that. So stuff like, those shits like the Obsidians and shit like that, they can literally, like they could have bought in like Avalanche and IO and even, what's the other one? Freaking Crytek and not hear a peep. And they can hold on to that information for a while because this is like small enough to bypass that whole regulatory.
I mean, that's what Sony's been doing with they haven't acquired a publisher yet, but that's what they've been doing with their acquisitions to where like they usually announce it right when they're like the deal is already closed or closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if they announce anyone, I mean, I don't expect any acquisitions. I know we got spoiled for those like those 2 years where they were doing like E3 acquisitions, but now that they're aiming at publishers, that we just gonna have to wait a random Monday morning, Tuesday morning type tweet, and we looked at that infamous Xbox banner with plus whatever new publisher they got. But I'm looking forward to the show. There's a lot that they could show, and I'm waiting for the information to come out. Yeah, man, I don't even know what to do. Like, I just want these games to start coming and just to get excited again because it's been like kind of a drag first half of this year for me at least.
Yeah, Xbox kind of been slacking a little bit.
Yeah, their Game Pass hits hasn't even been that crazy. Like that's why I was like, yo, you at least have to eat Game Pass.
Well, I am playing a game that's coming to Game Pass. I think people are gonna like it.
Trek to Yomi.
I'm actually not really allowed to say the name.
Wait a minute.
It comes
are you playing on the Xbox?
No, I can only get a Steam code.
Oh damn! What game is it? Oh, you can't tell me. It's Steam. Fuck that. You can tell. I can see if it was actually like a console game, but Steam game.
Nah, it literally says in the
clout.
It literally says in the embargo, you're not even allowed to mention any part of the review whatsoever.
All right, so don't mention any part of the review. Mention some part of the game though.
Smooth. He's just saying that. Yeah, he's saying he can't mention anything because he's not going to be able to.
Oh man.
You've seen it though. You've seen trailers and stuff for it.
Okay.
Matter of fact, speaking of that, when is that Replace game supposed to be coming out?
Yeah, bro, there's really 3 games that I'm waiting for that's supposed to
and that night game, right? That last night game as well.
Well, last night that shit's been on a burner for 10 years. Somerville as Dust Falls replace. I don't like. I need to kind of hear from those games. Like for
You think
real.
you think they may be you think like one of those. For me, I'm only looking forward to replace, but you think that could possibly be like a stealth drop announcement at the showcase?
No,
where it's
I
like
think they're
available today or something like that.
They're like that last minute confirmation where like I feel like those games are probably closer than what we think, and they'll probably say it in June and it comes out in July, like something like fucking the Ascent. Like I was waiting for the Ascent for a hot minute, found out it was coming out at the end of July in the middle of a June showcase. I'm like really, bro? Like. So same thing with Flight Sim. They did that. It was like we found out it was coming out in like July, like in the June showcase. And same thing with Psychonauts 2. We found out it was coming out at the end of August in the June showcase. So I think those games have potential to come out within the next 3 months. It's just that because they're like I don't know, like small, like scale. They just haven't they don't have like those going gold deadlines like regular games have, right? They just come out on their own time. But I'd be happy to see it. Replace was that one where it's just like gruesome like combat, but it was like I don't want to say it's not pixelated, right? It's like it has like this unique
like a 2D. Like I would say, it's almost kind of pixelated.
Yeah, it's like
bit.
It's like bordering the lines of like that, but what they're doing like impressive visuals on the background, right, to bring out the visuals, like so like the back visuals like kind of like pop out, and the combat looked really gruesome there. So man, yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So shout out to the chat though. I think it was over 100 of you watching. Hit the like button, please hit the share button. We're coming up to the end of the podcast. I'm going to give a quick shout out to the people in the chat. We're going to start off with Bless Red. I know he's trying to do some micro psycho analyzing on me because of my comment about Elizabeth Warren and the Activision deal. Some people, I don't know why I took that as me being against women's rights. I'm not exactly sure why it meant that. I just said, now repeat
it's a sensitive topic, man. You know,
it ain't sensitive. It's just a bunch of sensitive fucking beta males. That's all. But they think I'm defending this. They think some girl's just gonna hop on a dick or something like that. That's not how it works, dude. Like, but I mean, that's not like to anyone in particular. Just there's a lot of people like that. Like, Brap comes up and he shows his fucking ass all over the place every time with the whole virtual signaling signal he does all the time. It shit drives me nuts. Shit gets old, and I just get sick of people doing that shit. It's like, yo, if I want a console war, I will console war. Nothing stops me from console warring. I will say exactly what I mean or feel. If I'm gonna make a console war joke or a console war take, I'm going to make it console war. I'm going to mention PlayStation. I'm going to mention Xbox. I'm going to say what's doing better. My take had nothing to do with console war. And I make my political takes. I have political takes all the time. I've been talking shit on Elizabeth Warren for about 4 years. Nobody ain't have shit to say. But now because I'm doing it, now she resurfaced, I got some more shit to say. And everybody, oh, the problem. Man, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. I like these people get on my damn nerve with that shit. Like,
yeah,
fake ass, woke ass motherfuckers. Yeah. Like, they get on my damn nerve with it. They get on my nerves. Like,
they just mad because you with the Activision shit, and they don't.
Yeah,
want
all right. So, but this is how my beef. This is what the thing is like. There was no ulterior motive to it. I'm like, yo, I was shocked that she was like sending letters and stuff to the FTC regarding. I was like, yo, this is like kind of way like left field because I haven't recalled seeing Elizabeth Warren like go off on any other like acquisition, and it has to be it's not video games, any other shit she's never been on, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, so I was like, what's in it for her and her team? What's in it for her? What do she got to gain for this? So I'm just curious, you know what I mean? So just so happens, this whole thing happened, and like I'm like, and she's like all flustered, and I'm like, well, hey, if you weren't worried about this, you probably would have been prepared for something like this. This is where your mind should have been on. But I'm wrong for that? No, I'm not wrong for that. That's not insensitive. That has nothing to do with me being against women's rights. That's me criticizing that old Tales from the Crypt ass, like hypocritical ass woman. Like I'm allowed to do that. I can do that. I can criticize any individual I want. I don't know how it became me versus women's rights. Man, shut up with that. Like these people are stupid.
Hey, you talking about the same people that was mad at you because a dog attacked
the dog, the video of the dog versus the.
I don't know why that video was fucked up though.
It was fucked up, but damn, yo, it's like
that's what dogs do though. Like they attack opossums. Like this is not like he didn't.
No. I get all that. I'm not criticizing him posting that shit. I'm just saying the video.
It was gruesome. But like I don't like. I just don't like. There's like just like a lot of people, that want to try to get their coochie game up, right? And what they do is they jump on. They a lot of people think I'm like some sort of like punching bag where like I want to be the first to call out Kid Smooth and his questionable take. It wasn't a questionable take. I'll say it again 10 times over. Fucking I'll tweet it again in 4K. It doesn't like that shit doesn't. I'm like, what did I do wrong? I did nothing wrong. I didn't even comment on the whole case that everybody's mad at. Like I had said nothing about that. Didn't even give an opinion on what I feel about that situation. I literally had mentioned one thing and one thing only. It had nothing to do with console wars, and it had nothing to do with women's rights. It had everything to do with Elizabeth Warren and her being salty and the whole Activision thing. It had like it was like you guys are putting all this effort to try to determine what I meant by the tweet. I had no alternative meaning. I said what I said. Like, and people make me feel bad that, oh, I gotta feel bad or I gotta be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself. Nigga, I said worse. And I'm probably gonna say worse tomorrow. So like, you know what I mean? I'm not ashamed for what I said. I'm not sorry. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't call out anybody. I didn't disrespect anyone. You know what I mean? Unless Elizabeth Warren is kin to a lot of these people that's coming at me, then I apologize if I disrespected your mom or something like that. But I'm just going after another politician. People, it's fine to go after like people like Trump and all these other people. I can't go after Elizabeth Warren. Why not? I thought it was cool to go after politics. Now it's not.
Oh no!
This shit like a fucking walking demon, and I can't go after her. That's what she looks like. Like.
Oh man. Well, it don't matter what you say, bro. They gonna go after you. And you know it. And this is what I don't understand about you though. You know they gonna say something to you, bro. And then you just go ahead like I'm about to tweet this and see what they.
No, but the thing is like,
that's how Twitter is. Where people
Twitter is just. I can't wait till Elon pulls this fucking deal, bro, for real. Because
it is people. Because I go through it sometimes, and and I do it to other people too, where I take things that they say and I kind of misunderstand or whatever. But that's just how Twitter is, man. Especially with like the whole thing, that Elizabeth Warren is involved in and stuff like that. It's just people's emotions and sensitivities is at an all-time high right now.
I do think that when that Elon Musk thing, if that happens, I do feel like you're going to feel more comfortable on Twitter, Smooth.
Yeah.
You said what?
Post away, baby.
Well, if the Elon Musk thing happens, I feel like you're going to feel more comfortable on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't like Twitter. Twitter supports classism. Data, like I meet all the requirements to get a blue check. They won't give it to me, even though I have enough followers. I have enough tweets. I am a content creator. But they decide,
I mean, they just gave Chess Corden one, and he just did.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. It just I just don't like how this whole it's classism. That's what it is. And I don't like how the platform leans one way. I don't like how they deem like what's misinformation or not. It just is like me honestly. Even though I tweet a lot on Twitter, Twitter can go down tomorrow and I wouldn't care. I could lose my Twitter account tomorrow and it wouldn't really faze me at all. Like that's how little I care about it. It's just that I'll find another network to do the same exact thing on it. It's not needed, but
I do feel like that verification, being verified Twitter takes way more seriously than they should. Like,
Okay.
if you meet the requirements to get verified, you should just be verified. Like, it should be used as a tool to make sure you're not like a fucking
spam
robot or
bot.
something.
That's all it
Like,
should be. It's like you're a verified a real person. You're not a bot. I used to have a verified tag, and I lost it I forgot. I don't know why. I had a verified tag when I had like I want to say 1,000 or 2,000 followers. I was on I was beta testing Twitter updates. I used to get sent to New York to beta test Twitter updates, and they used to pay me $2,500 per test. Like, and I'm like, what happened?
Maybe they saw you going after Elizabeth Warren, and that's why they didn't
Can't go after them.
they're like,
bro.
get your Haiti ass up out of here.
Right. I mean, it might change when Elon get up in there, but I mean, you can't.
I haven't felt I don't think he's gonna like let shit go crazy, but I do understand that Kitsmu shouldn't be getting banned for a couple weeks for just calling someone a dickhead, but a chick can be getting her back blown out and there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I've seen all sorts of crazy stuff on Twitter. There's Twitter. There's just
straight porn, like straight up uncut porn, and then all that shit was like, what the hell? And then violence as well too.
You see people get shot up. You see people get their head chopped off and all this other stuff. You see some vile, evil shit. But then again, it's 2022. Evil is good and good is evil. So
right. And then if if you have some type of view, whether political view or anything like that, that the one side doesn't like, then they get you the fuck up out of here.
Yeah.
But they can show whatever the hell they want. Was like, it is what it is, bro. It's a whole joke, the whole clown show, anyway.
Yeah, fucking fact checkers. I know that shit was probably like the worst thing that happened to this damn place.
Something different. I thought.
Oh, you know.
You said fact checker, right?
Yeah. I said fact because that's been like the worst thing that ever happened to society.
I thought you said the one with the G.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna go there. I know they got more power. Whoa. That has more power than anything. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I know my limits. But yeah. Fact checkers.
I can't take them on. I know I can't take them on.
No, fact checkers is the worst thing that happened to society. These dudes literally like. Oh man, fact checkers! Oh my god!
And sometimes they fact check the facts and then say alternative facts to the facts. I don't know.
Oh man, but nah, man. But no, I wanted because I know Blessed Red thing. Because I think I went on a rant after I mentioned Blessed Red name, and I didn't mean to go on a rant. That wasn't a rant about Blessed Red. It was a rant about everyone who was on my post talking shit. Just Blessed Red just happened to get hit in the crossfire, and he was trying to talk some nonsense. And I'm like, bro, nah, you're not going to convince me otherwise. I said what I said. I don't mean anything different about it. But shout out to Blessed Red. He's still the homie. But you know what I mean? My mind is made up. My mind is not going to change. I say the same thing to BG. BG's be saying some crazy shit to me with this shit too. And I'm like, man, I think think a lot of my peers are just brainwashed. That's all.
Bro, I got a question for you, Smooth. When Avowed comes out, you gonna play that?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Right, he's gonna play it. The question is that's not the question whether he's gonna play it. The question is he gonna beat it? That's the question.
What about? Because I'm really gonna fight for that Starfield code. You gonna play that when it comes out?
I'm definitely gonna play Starfield. I'm just curious myself if I'm gonna beat it. I hope I'm able to beat it. If I could beat it, that would be an accomplishment. It would be a major accomplishment.
You beat Outer Worlds.
But Outer Worlds, sorry, so it's different.
Outer Worlds is smaller than
it's smaller
game.
scale. You literally go area to area. You do all your missions and clear. And it's still I don't want to say linear. It's still linear though. It's still
it's hub world based.
Yeah, it's hub world based. Like you have a loading point to all the maps. Everything's not connected. You have to go to a loading point to go to every map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was only 6 hub worlds. It was 5 or 6 hub worlds in total.
What's funny is there's more maps on the world that you can't even go to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing. I was like, damn, look at all these spots. I'm able to go here.
It kind of reminded me of God of War, where it had stuff
or
on
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do the
Yeah,
expansions.
or Mass Effect, or
Yeah.
one of the Mass Effect games. I remember, like when you zoomed out and like to travel to different planets, there were just some planets you couldn't go through.
Yeah, the only one that kind of gave you the places to go was Elden Ring, where it's like you you went everywhere
everywhere.
where what's available on that map. But yeah, I do like. But I think some of them's opened up in the DLC, like a pair on Gargan and the murder on shit. I played both.
Yeah, they added them on the DLC and
DLC,
shit like
yeah.
that. But the base game, no, you
Yeah,
couldn't get
yeah.
to those planets.
Yeah, and those expansions, yeah, you had to pay for it. They didn't even give you those shits on Game Pass. Like you had to pay for those shits. But yeah, man. But no, I appreciate everyone for coming through. We had Bless Red. I see the Geeky Nerd. I see Sean, Tino, Jay Gotts, Rossetti. There's also is Alex PSX in there? Did I see him? I saw Salty is Gaming. We saw Future Generations, Upper Room AK, Anthony.
Upper Room was in here. Shout out to Upper Room. I wonder how Bless Red, right? Shout out to Bless Red, but I wonder how he feels about all these PC guys coming out here and saying that they also believe ray tracing at this time is overrated.
Oh, yeah.
It's overrated.
I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot that was something I talked about that got me also in trouble. But I've been saying, but the thing is, I don't have to say it here on this podcast because I've said it. That's where it came from. I said it on this podcast like 3 times of my thoughts on ray tracing. I said multiple times on this podcast. I think for consoles, I think PlayStation had the demonstrated ray tracing the best with their games. You know, outside of Metro and maybe even Doom, but I'm still not overly impressed. Like I don't think it's that hot to be choosing 30 frames or 60 frames, and like the performance modes that they got in Ratchet and Spider-Man, they're not bad, but they're still like a compromised version of it. And I was like, if for all that, I'd rather quality SSR, quality SSO at native 4K 60. I'll do that any day. I mean, I know there's good examples of ray tracing out there. I just haven't personally experienced it, and I know Unreal Engine 5 is gonna have like their take, and it looks good and everything. But I don't know if I'm ready to do that at 30 frames per second after being spoiled for the first 2 years of this game of having like 98% of the games be 60 frames or better. So, but yeah, we don't have to like dwell on that too much. But people didn't really appreciate my take. They thought I was mad because they think Xbox can't do ray tracing. Xbox has a lot of games that has ray tracing.
It just hasn't been anything too special. Like the only games that I've played that it's like it's cool, right? And it looks really good, but at the same time, it's like after a while, it's just like it is what it is. But like obviously Miles and
the novelty wears off. Like that's what I feel like the novelty of it wears off quicker.
And that's the same. Yeah, that's the same with like most graphically intensive games. After you play for a while and your eyes just adjust, you're just in it for, at least for me, I'm just in it for the gameplay and shit after that. Yeah.
But appreciate you guys for coming through. Shout out to Chris Righteous being here. You got anything you want to get off before we sign out?
No, man. I'm just honestly, now that Xbox announced their showcase, we're overdue for a PlayStation one. Like, I think we're long overdue for one. So I'm hoping that they also announce one as well too. Yeah. That's pretty much it, man.
Question. The next state of play, what game is being covered? Is it one game or is it multiple games? The next state of play.
Most likely it would just be one game. Most likely God of War Ragnarok, or maybe Forspoken state of play. But like I said, they already had like 3 state of play this year. They had the Gran Turismo one, then they had the one with the focus on the Japanese publisher, which was mainly Square Enix, right? Square Enix games. And then they had the Harry Potter one, and then they had one for like Ghostwire Tokyo and things of that nature. That's what I'm saying. We haven't had a showcase since last September. We don't know it. We still don't know the release date of Ragnarok, if that's even going to come out this year. And after that,
I do want to point out that I've been saying it ain't coming out this year for like a whole year. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But then the only thing we know after that is just Spider-Man and Wolverine. So there's still a ton of things that we just don't know coming from Sony. So I would like their next announcement to be a showcase and not necessarily a state of play.
Yeah.
You know, for me personally, but we'll see.
Okay. Logan, man, what you got going on?
Oh, I don't got too much going on. Just hit me up on Twitter if you want to talk games. Ole Man Logan.
Okay. NickBanks. Okay.
Yo. Oh, also, man, I've been playing on the PlayStation. I've been playing Hong Kong Massacre, the over the top shooter.
Oh, that's
the,
isn't
like,
that like which Hotline Miami?
It's on it. Yeah, but it's like it got that like slow motion John Woo, you sliding doing, all this fancy stuff.
Is that a PlayStation exclusive?
Well, actually, it's on the Switch and PlayStation only.
Oh, so they
It's
ignored
not-
Xbox.
well,
Okay,
PC as well.
It's another
Yeah.
developer that kiss my ass. Okay.
Probably because their previous game they ain't supported like the Fury game.
Yeah, well, obviously, PlayStation gamers ain't supporting it either, so I don't know.
Well, you said it's on
know,
PC. I'll look it up on Steam. I'll probably.
You get on your PlayStation, man. Show the console some love,
The next game I get on PlayStation. No, never mind. I'm getting that on PC. Will be God of War. I think God of War.
Okay.
Or Stray. I don't know. Or Final Fantasy 16.
Well, or Forspoken. Are you gonna get that on
Forspoken,
PC?
I'm gonna get on PC now that I know that it supports Xbox achievements.
Man, you tripping now.
Hey. I mean, Forspoken is one of those games, and I'm holding on. I would have it pre-ordered by now, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get it on one of these bum sites at like.
You know what's crazy? I hope what the Square Enix president was talking about last week. I hope he wasn't taking a shot at Forspoken or like doing like a red herring type of shit. He literally just says like when Japanese developers try to make Western style games, it doesn't work out for them.
I know what you're talking about.
Or Forspoken, right? It is made by Luminous Productions, Japanese studio.
Yep.
But all of the writers and the storytelling are all like Amy Hennig and shit like that, like Western and shit like that. So hopefully
he got the woke writers too. So
hopefully that's not a rare, because I'm looking forward for. I know a lot of people have been, not impressed by it, but I am looking forward to it. But I hope it's a good game, man.
Me too. See, I'm impressed because I thought it was the first game that looked closest to that demo, the Unreal Engine 5 demo after that show. Like first we saw the Unreal demo, right?
Forspoken screams average as fuck to me.
Yeah, I hope not, man. I'm getting that day one, but I hope it's a pretty good game. But we'll see.
Oh yeah.
But
Addict, man, you had a podcast today. I gotta catch up on it. I did mention I was at work late today, but you got anything going on?
Yeah, we're actually having the Addict show prediction show next week.
Next week?
That's
pretty early.
Yeah. Well, I'm due. See, the thing is IOP has their own, so I try to have them separated a couple weeks. Because IOP's is next month on the 5th.
Okay.
So I can't. I want a good amount of time separated between them two.
Okay. Dopest J, you got anything going on? All right. Well, I will say this for we're gonna have next week. Fame ENT, next level, level 1 gaming, will be on the podcast. So, so shout out to him. I don't know if he was in the chat today, but he will be coming through. He usually has a podcast like an hour right before ours, but he's making himself available next week. So we'll have Fame ENT on here of
Double XP.
Double XP. So that's going to be a good one, and hopefully some news break next week. But shout out to you guys, man. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day, and thank you guys for spending another couple hours with me tonight. I'll probably play some Halo or chill out until Trek to Yomi come out and see what that's about. Other than that, man, as always, guys, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We are out of here.